3 as well. Then, of course, the rain out. So finally making that game up. Look, I mean, this is an Aces team that's playing as good of baseball as they have all season right now. It starts with 1 win over these next 5, and I think the good vibes are going to continue, and they'll be ready to go tonight.
And this current win streak started with a walk-off win as part of just a spectacular finish to the series against the Adelaide Giants, the current leaders of the Southwest Division. They've already got their spot in the playoffs. The Aces, again, need to keep that streak going to secure their spot. But, I mean, what can't you say about how strong these last 3 games have been for Melbourne?
Oh, the Aces took care of business. They picked the best time of year to be playing their best baseball. I mean, everything from the starting pitching, the bullpen, up and down the line of 1 through 9, guys coming off the bench and contributing. Everything clicked, and to be able to get 3 straight wins against one of the best teams in the league this season, I mean, that's not easy to do. We talked about it on the broadcast in the Adelaide series after Game 4. I mean, the crowd played a big factor in just keeping the good vibes up. I mean, the atmosphere was electric, and the Aces just looking to pick up right where they left off 2 days ago and get another W.
A record series in terms of crowd and a big series for the Aces. Pitching did play a huge factor, and one of those pitchers, Scott Harkin, going again tonight. He had his first start for Melbourne in the first win of the series, and he looked lights out.
Oh, the Shark's been great in his 2 outings. 7 shutout innings for Scott. And to be able to go out there and make his first start in Melbourne about a week after getting off a plane, coming over to join the team late in the season, 5 shutout innings, 5 strikeouts, and he kept guys off base. He limited the hits. He didn't walk guys, and that was huge. It really set the tone for the rest of the game.
And another tone setter in the Aces pitching staff has been Dan McGraw. Started the season as a starter against Geelong. He pitched a complete game. The only runs he let up were a 9th inning, 3-run home run by Song Chan-Oi. But he came back to the bullpen after getting injured in the Brisbane series. 5 relief outings for Melbourne this season, and the Aces won in all 5 of those games.
Yeah, I mean, it's no coincidence that the games that he's pitched in have resulted in W's for the Aces. He's been able to lock 1- and 2-run leads down in the 9th. He's been able to pitch in big spots with the game tied, and got a couple wins recently. But it's not easy to go from a starting role and then go back to the bullpen, especially with an injury mixed in between. But McGraw has been money. I'm calling him Money McGraw, and he's just such a big piece at the back end of Peter Moylan's bullpen right now.
And as you said, another guy who was just getting hot at the right time for the Melbourne Aces. And we talked about Scott Harkin. This is the first time that Geelong will see him at all this series. He's the only pitcher on the Aces staff that they haven't come to bat up against. How big is that for Melbourne?
I think it's a little bit of an advantage. Look, it's not going to dictate the game. It's not going to necessarily be the difference in the game. But I think it's good because you have a new arm out there that these guys haven't seen. So the first time through the lineup especially, there's going to be some different looks. These GK hitters aren't necessarily going to know what's coming, and that's good. I don't know what their scouting report is, but I think it definitely bodes well for the Aces.
And for the Aces, plenty of difference makers in that last series. A couple of big hits by Jared Dale. Who do you like in terms of a breakout player for the Aces to kind of control the tempo of this game?
See, breakout's tough because there's a lot of guys who are really hitting their stride late in the season. I'm usually the one putting you on the spot with this.
It's my turn now.
Exactly. No, but I actually am going to point to Jared Dale on this one. I'm going to go with him as the standout star in this game just because of how hot a bat he has right now, whether he's at the top of the lineup or in more of an RBI position towards the middle, bottom of the lineup. He's just squaring a lot of balls up right now, whether it's to the pull side, staying up the middle, going to right field the opposite way. I'm picking Jared as my standout star just because of how locked in he is at the plate.
Dale's batting 6th tonight. Aces going for their 4th straight win in another must-win game. A playoff atmosphere here at Melbourne Ballpark. You're not going to want to go away. Stay tuned here on Aces TV for the Aces against 질롱코리아.
It's a hot one at Melbourne Ballpark tonight, but the playoff race is heating up in the ABL, so it makes perfect sense. Hi, everyone, and welcome inside our broadcast for tonight's game between the Melbourne Aces and 질롱코리아. A makeup game from round 1 back in mid-November, but these two teams finally getting to play the series finale from round one. Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber with you in the booth. Well, Josh, it's as simple as this. If the Aces win each of their final 5 games, they get in the playoffs. If they lose any of their remaining 5, they don't. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it sounds a lot easier than it actually is, but the Aces certainly got on that train to start, or really to end that Adelaide series. 3 straight wins over this past weekend, and all of them just seem to get more and more exciting. Within one game in within one run in each of those 3 wins, and 2 walk-offs, including a walk-off walk on Sunday.
Well, the Aces come in at 15-20. Meanwhile, 질롱코리아 is 13-22. Before we go to the break for the anthems, let's get in our Vibrant Services weather report.
Well, it could just say really darn hot. That really could describe it. 30 degrees Celsius. The wind hopefully will blow a bit more into the booth, but we see it a little bit moving the flags around in the outfield. A small chance of rain, so that's something to keep an eye on.
All right, we'll get you the starting lineups and the keys to the game after a break for both the Korean and Australian national anthems. So we will pause for those anthems right now, but keep it locked on Aces TV. Big game tonight at Melbourne Ballpark as the Aces look to win the first of 5. They need 5 wins in a row to get in the playoffs. An uphill battle for this Aces team, Josh, but I think they've got the mindset and the roster to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of been like the Aces all season. They really have not been worried, even when it was in those couple of games where they haven't like a long losing streak. It just has not seemed to affect this team. They know what they came here to Melbourne to do, and that's make the playoffs. And you just can't count these guys out.
So let's get into the Aces starting lineup for tonight's game. We'll see what Peter Moylan is rolling out there tonight in a huge game for this team to try to keep their playoff hopes alive. Well, in the leadoff spot, it's the left fielder Chris Burke, one of the hottest hitters in the league. He's on a 5-game hit streak, drove in the game-tying run in the 8th inning on Sunday. Batting second, it's the shortstop Robbie Glendinning. He's been fantastic this season. He leads the team in both slugging percentage and OPS. The 3-hole hitter, it's the designated hitter Jake Skoll, celebrating his birthday today, hoping to get a W on his birthday. In the cleanup spot, it's the first baseman Darryl George, one of the all-time greats in Melbourne as he looks to bring some thump in the middle of the order. Batting fifth, it's the catcher, Ryan Lavarnway, who has brought such a big bat and a veteran presence to this Aces team. Batting sixth, it's the third baseman and maybe the arguably hottest hitter in the ABL right now. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. He's hit safely in 11 of 12. Batting seventh, it's the right fielder, Jacob Robson. He's been such a steady presence in this lineup, leads the team in on-base percentage. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Aaron Whitefield, a 2-time Helms Award winner and 1-time Defensive Player of the Year award. He's a big piece in the bottom of the order. And batting ninth, it's the second baseman, George Khalil, who has 7 hits over his last 5 games. He's been really good lately. And on the mound, it's Scott the Shark Harkin, making his second start and third appearance overall for the Aces. No earned runs in 7 innings this season, Josh. He has been fantastic, and he will get Saho Chal, Kwang Min, and Park Ju-hung, the top 3 in this GK order. Scott's first pitch of the night is a fastball that misses inside. It's 1-0.
And we could see an advantage, something that we'll talk when we get into the keys to the game, just because Geelong hasn't seen him pitch yet. This is now the 12th game against this Aces squad.
Deep fly ball to left field. Well, you can forget about that one. 2 pitches into the game, and 질롱코리아 is on the board. Saho Chal picks on a hanging breaking ball, and it's 1-0. So not an ideal time to do it, but Josh, let's get into the keys to tonight's matchup.
Well, we could write a new one, just not to do that. Hung that breaking ball there, but the Aces have played from behind in just about every one of these games. They can still keep the momentum going, and that's something they need to do. Just keep on winning, because frankly, that's all that that's all they can do. Harkin hung that breaking ball for Saho Chal, but that kind of element of surprise, the fact that they haven't really seen him before, is quite important as well. And yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of winning. The bullpens have been a big key in all of these games. There were so few games that just with a starter as the pitcher of record, and I think whoever wins the battle of the bullpens could win this one.
A tough start for the Aces, but if you remember from Sunday's game, Jack Fox gave up a leadoff home run to Nick Ward in the top of the first. The Aces came back to win that game by a run, scored a run in the 8th to tie it, and one more in the 9th to win it. So, I mean, hey, maybe that theme holds out today, leadoff batter homers. We'll see if Harkin can settle down after that. So that's the first run Harkin has allowed in an Aces uniform since joining the team in round 8 in Sydney. Hard hit liner to right. That's down in front of Robson, a base hit. Well, Scott is pitching on short rest today, just 3 days rest. And it's rare that we see somebody go on short rest in the ABL, Josh, because normally games are Thursday through Sunday, 3 off days in the middle of the week. But this is uncharted territory with a makeup game on a Tuesday here.
Yeah, and I think it's because that the rest was a bit shorter because Moylan wanted to give Geelong a guy they haven't seen before, a guy they can't really do as much preparation for, particularly on this short week. And I like the idea. How long he stays in the game, though, is really just going to be up in the air. Maybe they'll use this as a bullpen game to save their starters for an all-important series against Perth, assuming they can get the win against Geelong.
Kwan takes off. Here's a throw from Lavarnway. It's a good one. Tag on the head of the runner Kwan, but in and out of Khalil's glove. He might have been safe anyway. Bang play. That
certainly would have been a close call. A really good jump there by Kwang Ming. We'll see it here. Yeah, if he hadn't dropped the ball, he's out.
See if that comes back to hurt the Aces. Man on second, no outs. Park Ju-hung at the dish. Park has been a mainstay in this GK lineup all season. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from the Shark there. Well, the Aces have played a ton of tight games this season. 17 of the Aces games this year have been decided by 2 runs or less. They're 9-8 in those games. To have a winning record in such close games, Josh, especially when a team plays so many, that's pretty remarkable, especially with as trying of a season it's been for the Aces. The ball gets away from Lavarnway, and Kwan moves up 90 feet, so he's at third now with no outs.
Tough start in this inning for Harkin and the Aces, but going back to that close game, 17 games decided by 2 runs or less, you said. The Aces have played 35. That's a little less than half. I mean, to have a winning record in that many close games is remarkable. There's really no other way to say it. I mean,
Man on third, no outs. The Aces keep the infielders back. You got to believe that the Aces know they'll need more than one. They'll definitely need more than two to score to win this game. So bringing the infield in to cut the runoff doesn't make a ton of sense.
Great spot.
You know, they'd rather not let an infield dribbler that just squeaks through the drawn-in infield, you know, change the entire inning. It looks like the plan is to trade a run for an out. 3-2 from Harkin, swing and a miss. Good curveball from Scott. That's a big out, number one.
Yeah, getting that curve working is going to be crucial for Harkin. The last time he pitched, he had 5 strikeouts. I think 4 of them were on his curveball. I mean, he was really dominating with that pitch, a really sharp 12-6 drop. And if he can get that working to get the Aces out of this jam, that would be crucial.
Here's Song Chan-Oi. He homered in all 3 of the games these two teams played at Melbourne Ballpark in round 1. Harkin goes to the curveball to get him over. 0-1. Harkin went 5 shutout innings and took a no decision in his first start on January 13th. That was this past Friday against Adelaide. Aces won that game in walk-off fashion. Harkin threw 74 pitches. He struck out 5, walked just 1. And he gave up only 2 hits. In terms of starters who have gone at least 4 innings in a game this season, that's the fewest hits that an Aces starter has given up in a game this year. Another breaking ball. Lavarnway smothers it. Well, it always helps to have a former big leaguer behind the dish to help you get through a game. Defensively for the Aces, Ryan Lavarnway doing the catching. Jared Dale's at third base. Robbie Glendinning at short. George Khalil's the second baseman. Darryl George over at first. In the outfield, left to right, it's Chris Burke, Aaron Whitefield, and Jacob Robson. Another curveball from Harkin, but that one misses.
That looked close, but he's certainly not trying to give anything over the plate to Song Chan-Oi. He has been nothing else but dominant against Melbourne this year.
Softly hit ground ball to short. Glendinning goes to first. Throws offline, but look at the tag from Darryl George. He got him. The Aces trade the run for the out. 2-0 Geelong Korea, but 2 outs and bases empty here in the first.
Got to give a lot of credit to Darryl George on that play, because obviously you never wanted to get the run home. In a perfect situation, you want to keep the opponent scoreless, but in a situation like that where you know it's going to be an out for a run trade, you want to make sure to get the out. Great job by George at first to stay with that throw.
Harkin looks for the inning ender here to limit it to just 2 runs. The Aces got Harkin 5 runs of support on Friday night, so these 2 early runs, not anything really to be worried about.
I mean, this is nothing new for the Aces. It might be not be in the first inning, but they're certainly used to getting scored on first.
Well, look at Aaron Whitefield track down that ball in the gap. A nice play there from the 2-time Helms Award winner. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, none left for Geelong in the first. Aces have some work to do, down 2-0 early. We'll head to the bottom of the first after this on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Chris Burke leads off the bottom of the first for the Aces. It's Burke, Robbie Glendinning, and Jake Skoll, the top three in Peter Moylan's order. Final home game of the regular season at Melbourne Ballpark, but the Aces, if they win their final 5 games of the regular season, there's a chance that there will be more baseball here in this ballpark. But got to take care of business over the next 5, and it starts tonight. The Aces down 2-0 after the top of the first. 질롱코리아 got 2 off Scott Harkin. Here's a tapper to the left side. No chance at all for Saw, the shortstop. It's an infield hit for Chris Burke. He's now hit safely in 6 straight. Chopped that one off the plate, and I don't know that I've ever seen an infield grounder bounce that high.
Definitely not. And something that we talked about with Ed on the broadcast yesterday or on Sunday was things like this. Just the little kind of freak things, the little strokes of luck that just kind of have to go a team's way when they're getting win streaks started, when they're in these kind of do-or-die situations. And that's one of them.
The Aces have been on the right side of a lot of those situations lately, as the side-arming right-hander So Jun-won gets one over to Glendinning. It's 0-1. So 22 years old from South Korea, 1-3 with a 5.47 ERA this season. Aces have the leadoff man on, something they did quite a bit in the series finale against Adelaide, which resulted in a walk-off win for the Aces, 4-3 in 9 innings. 2 walk-off wins against Adelaide. The Aces won the final 3 games of that series. Looking to make it 4 wins in a row for the first time this season.
And a big part of that was with Chris Burke at the leadoff spot. We said it in the pregame show. He is just on an absolute tear. 5 games now, 6 with a hit streak, 7-game on base streak. He is absolutely getting hot at the right time.
He's hot at the right time. A lot of other Aces are, and this team is overall. 5-3 in their last 8 are the Aces. Big turnaround from earlier in the season. Ever since the Aces lost 3 of 4 in round 7 against Canberra in this ballpark, they've played winning baseball. Split in Sydney to 3 of 4 from Adelaide. 1-2 to Robbie. Ripped down the right field line, hooking towards the corner, foul. A hot shot off the bat of Glendinning. See if he can straighten it out here with 2 strikes.
And he's a guy that you really want to get hot. He had a solid series against Adelaide last week, but he's a guy who you're just not used to seeing hit under 300, which is just so incredible that he's done that in his previous 6 years. Getting him a couple more hits in this series and then in the Perth series could be the thing that puts the Aces over the edge.
Big hole on the right side with the second baseman Kim pinching towards second for the double play. Move to first, a close one. Burke back safe. Umpires in tonight's ballgame: Stuart Howe calling balls and strikes, Ian Gavin, the first base umpire, Jeff Dunn, the third base umpire. Right-hander So set the pitch. Glendinning rips another one foul. Defensively for 질롱코리아, Cho is the catcher. In the infield, Kim at third, Saw at short, Kim at second, and Song at first. In the outfield, Owen left, Lee in center, and Park in right. Aces 3-4 against 질롱코리아 this season. This a makeup game from round 1, the completion of round 1 finally. 1-2, Glendinning sends one into center. That's down in front of Lee. The Aces have their first 2 on in the first. First and second for the 3-hole hitter and the birthday boy, Jake Skoll.
I think a home run would be a really fitting birthday present.
Go-ahead homer at the top of the first in a must-win game. How about it?
That's better than blowing out candles to me. I don't know about you, but anyways, though, good job by Glendinning. You saw him have a couple of close misses at the plate. You know, hit the ball really hard the other way. They went foul. Getting one to drop into fair territory is big. Aces, the first 2 hitters on when at a time they need it most.
So here's Skoll looking to do some damage. A hard slider over for a strike, 0-1. The Aces are 10-9 at home this season. They fought to
get themselves over 500 at home with the 3 wins against Adelaide. Tough road record at 5-11. But a win tonight would mean they've got some work to do on the road. That series against Perth would mean a ton. The Aces go to Perth to play 4 this coming Friday through Sunday. Friday night, doubleheader Saturday, then the Sunday afternoon regular season finale. If the Aces win this game, that series will decide who the second team is from the Southwest Division going to the playoffs. Skoll rips one foul down the line. It's 1-2.
I do like the aggression from the Aces. You're seeing a lot of swings on those close pitches. They're seeing the ball really well out of So Jun Wan's hand, and they're getting the bat on it pretty consistently. And this is the power portion of that lineup. Enough of those balls hit the bat, and it could be trouble. The good kind.
9th game of the season for So. It's his 4th start. 24 2/3 innings of work coming in. 23 Ks, just 6 walks. 1-2, that's outside. The Aces have seen So this season. He pitched twice in round 6 at Geelong. He pitched in the series opener and the series finale. Picked up a save in that series. That's his only save of the season. 2-2 on Skoll, swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. That's out number 1 in the first.
And it looks like in his at bat, it seems like anytime he swings, he's still within the vicinity of getting a hit. That one, he just seemed a bit over the top of it, but his timing just always seems so good.
You're right. I mean, I don't think we really ever can say that Jake Skoll takes a bad swing. You know, the swing always looks pretty. Just missed it a little bit there. So 1 out and runners stay where they are. Here's Darryl George. Longest tenured Aces position player. He's played the most games in franchise history. Well, he's played in a lot of big games, Josh. This just adds to it.
And, I mean, something Ed was saying on Sunday, he just always seems to be the guy in a big spot for Melbourne. And I know it's early in this game, but every inning, every pitch is just that much bigger because there is no margin for error anymore.
The atmosphere over the weekend was incredible. All must-win games for the Aces. They took 3 of 4. And the Sunday game, the come-from-behind win, I mean, my heart was beating with every pitch. I mean, it was intense.
Some of the most intense baseball I've been around.
As intense as it can get for a Sunday afternoon game, you know what I mean? The Sunday afternoon games usually have the chill vibe, more relaxed atmosphere, but not this past Sunday, not 2 days ago.
No, and that's what the Aces need. I think that's really what they thrive on. They know that every game you need a win. They know what's in front of them, and you can just tell. Just being around the ballpark, in warm-ups, just walking around the clubhouse, what have you, you can just tell that there is. You can just feel that. You can feel the extra heat that this playoff atmosphere brings. They know that their backs are against the wall, and they're playing it.
Talk about playoff atmosphere. All around the ABL, there's some big games over the next week. Only Geelong, Korea, and the Sydney Blue Sox have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Brisbane Bandits and Adelaide Giants, the 2 teams that have clinched a playoff spot already, so 1 spot up for grabs in each division. Auckland and Canberra fighting for that spot in the Northeast Division. The Aces and Heat going after that final spot in the Southwest Division. George sends one in the air. Right field. Park is there, makes the grab. Both runners bluff a tag, throw back to second, and Burke made it back.
That is a very smart throw from Park Ju-hong. I really thought Burke was going to third. That seemed like it was deep enough in right field, but I get that you don't want to risk it. George just a little late, though, on that throw, and a really, really strong throw by Park Ju-hong.
So with 2 down and runners still at first and second, here's Ryan Lavarnway, the catcher. And Josh, I just alluded to how close some of these matchups are standing-wise in the ABL. Auckland has a 1-game lead over Canberra for the second spot in the Northeast Division. Adelaide, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they only have a 1-game lead over Perth for the division crown. So they still have a lot to play for. The Heat, it's wild. The Heat, over these next 5 days, could find themselves as division champs, or they could find themselves out of the playoffs altogether. The Aces run the table and win out. They're out.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with this game, but you got to think Adelaide's got just as close eye as on the Aces here Heat series next week as they do their own.
If Varnway takes outside, it's 1-1.
And I think LaVarnway, he should just be very content even with a walk, because Jared Dale's in the on-deck circle and he has been amazing at the plate for the Aces, but I don't think that's what LaVarnway wants. He's just been on a mission since he's come here. You can tell.
So Dale is the man waiting on deck. LaVarnway swinging a good bat as well. Aces looking for some runs, down 2-0 early. Scott Harkin gave up 2 in the top of the first, but did a good job to limit the damage. Burke at second, Glendinning at first. LaVarnway takes another one outside. It's 3-1. Well, the last time So was on the mound, he gave up 7 runs against the Auckland Tuatara. That was back on this past Thursday. But he's looking for a better outing. The Aces looking to hang another crooked number on him. Wind picking up here at the ballpark. Huge gust of wind here as LaVarnway swings and pops one up right side. See who wants it, and it's Song who makes the grab, fighting that wind gust. The Aces get their first 2 on in the bottom of the first, but they fail to score. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left on after an inning of play. The Aces trail Geelong Korea 2-0. Top 2 after this quick break on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most, to share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale, it's the one for all.
Top of the second inning from Melbourne Ballpark. Well, things have changed pretty quickly. Not only the score, but the weather. Geelong Korea got 2 runs in the top of the first. Saho Chow, a leadoff homer on the second pitch of the game. Song Chan-oi, an RBI ground out a couple batters later. And what was once a really hot, humid, sunny day has turned into, to be honest, I don't even know really what to call this, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a storm is coming. But I think that bodes well for the Aces, because the last time rain affected a game against Geelong, it ended pretty well for Melbourne.
Well, the home plate umpire, Stuart Howe, calls for time as another wind gust comes through. It looks ugly out there, it really does.
Yeah.
No rain quite yet, at least I don't think.
Just a lot of wind. It's been blowing straight out to right, really, since the first couple pitches of the game. That was a big reason that Soho Chal kind of caught the wind on the home run. Was a hard hit ball, but you can tell the wind is going to be a big factor on where the baseball flies today.
Lee Jin Young, the center fielder, the leadoff man here in the second. Swing and a miss there. Good pitch from Harkin, 2-2. Kim Ju-sung and Cho Hyung-woo to follow. This one from Harkin, swing and a miss. Back-to-back fastballs up in the zone from Scott. And he's got another strikeout, giving 2 in the game.
Settling in a little bit. You never like the pitcher to give up runs early, but you do like this, responding to those runs by just getting easy outs. And he's looking a lot more comfortable up there now.
1 out, no one on. Here's Kim Ju-sung. Harkin working quickly, just pumping that fastball. Each team with 2 hits apiece. The Aces had Burke and Glendinning on back-to-back singles to start the bottom of the first, but the next 3 batters made out. And both those runners stayed where they were and couldn't get them past first and second. Upstairs from Harkin as that backs Kim off the plate. Well, I wonder if Harkin's working a lot quicker because of the recent change in weather here. Obviously, both teams really want to get this game in. The Aces need to get this game in. It means so much.
I just don't think Harkin wants to get taken out of the game, because if weather changes this game, it'll be hard to keep him back in the game. It's so rare to see after a weather delay. Hopefully we won't get there, but it's rare to see after a weather delay the starting pitcher staying in the ball game if it happens at that early stage.
2-2, that's upstairs. Yeah, especially if it's a lengthy delay, there's pretty much no shot the starter comes back. Now you figure, I'd say like 30 minutes on the high side or less, it gives the starter a chance to come back out. Because I guess you could look at, even if it's 30 minutes, you could look at it as, hey, the equivalent of your team at bat, a really long half inning. But anything more than that, really tough for a guy to go back out there and lock back in with the same mentality. Things have calmed down right now weather-wise. Big gust of wind came through. Really dark out there now. The sun went away pretty quick. No rain as of yet. Breaking ball, sent in the air, shallow right center.
Sorry, yeah, it's Mateo. That's
like Whitefield's comfortable there. Makes the grab, camps under it.
Sorry, yeah, we just switched out.
2 up, 2 down in the second.
That's just a really good at bat from any angle you want to look at it. Kim Ju-sung was absolutely battling. Harkin just stayed patient. Kept throwing his pitches. Didn't let the fact that Kim Ju-sung was fouling just about everything off change his game plan on that.
Here's the catcher, Cho Hyung-woo. He tried to check his swing there, essentially in self-defense. Counts 0-1. Harkin continues to work quick, pumps the fastball in the outer half. It's 0-2. Good crowd on hand tonight on a Tuesday. Harkin's 0-2, sent to right, but Robson's there, makes the grab, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Scott Harkin. The Aces with some work to do at the plate. They trail 질롱코리아 2-0. We head to the bottom of the second after a quick break on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar. Your Melbourne Aces is our third baseman, Jared Dale.
We play on here in Melbourne. Michael Mark Cantonini and Josh Berber with you on the call tonight as we take a look at the radar. Josh, what are you seeing there? You're the weatherman tonight.
That's a bad look, but doesn't seem like there's going to be too much heavy that's going to hit us. We might get some scattered showers, but I think the red and orange stuff are the things you really want to avoid, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of that.
Jared Dale, Jacob Robson, and Aaron Whitefield, 6, 7, 8 due up for the Aces. Dale, the hottest hitter on the team. He's riding a 6-game hitting streak. He's hit safely in 11 of his last 12 as well. 1-0. Dale rips one in the air. Left field. That one's deep. O goes back, and that one sails over the wall. Fire me up, Jared Dale. A leadoff homer here in the second, and the Aces cut the deficit in half. Jared Dale has now hit safely in 7 straight games. It ties him for the Aces' longest hitting streak of the season. Well, we knew this team could play from behind. We knew there were runs to be scored. That's number one.
And it seems like at the center of those run scoring is always Jared Dale. That's how it's been these last couple of games. Another guy who's peaking at the right time, and you love to see that from Dale. The power has not been there in terms of home run this season, and that is a darn good time for your first.
Well, don't forget that, Josh, you put me on the spot in the pregame show for a standout star. I picked Jared Dale. It's a good pick so far.
Yep.
Here's Jacob Robson looking to keep it going. Robson leads the Aces in on-base percentage. Seems like every time you turn around, he's on base. He scored the winning run in Sunday's series finale against Adelaide. Came in as a pinch runner after J.D. Osborne walked to open the frame. Takes inside there. The wind continues to howl out there. Really could use that to settle down a little bit. Robson asking for time, maybe because of the wind. 2-1 our score, bottom 2. Jared Dale, a leadoff homer here in the second to get the Aces on the board. And Dale continues to swing a hot bat for this team. He's now hit safely in 12 of his last 13. Next pitch from So to Robson. That misses. Good take there from Jacob. Well, for Dale, it's his second homer of the season. Give him 6 RBIs now. And it's his 8th extra base hit overall. So the count runs full on Robson after that swing and miss. See what he does here on the payoff. Robson looking to keep it going. No outs here in the frame. 3-2 from So, fought off.
That's something we've seen more and more of from Robson. Just fighting off pitches. He's always a guy who is going to swing himself into counts. His default mode is just attack, attack, attack. And those good defensive swings we've seen a lot more of as the course of the season has gone on.
3-2 again, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for So, 1 out in the second, and that brings up Whitefield. Well, Aaron had a really hot start to the season, and while his numbers aren't where they usually are, he's found ways to be productive for this team. He's 11 for 11 in stolen base opportunities. Always seems to pick up an extra base on the bases. Had a couple hits in the series against Adelaide, his former team. And it looks like he's got another one here. He dumps one into right for a base hit. Big turnaround first. He's headed for second. Here's the throw, and it's well in time. Whitefield thrown out for out number 2.
I like the aggression from Whitefield there, but it would have been fine just staying with a single. He's a guy who could steal bases so easily, but you got to give Park Chu-hong credit. Hat coming up, he saved a double with the throw, with the route. and just a really good job in right field to stop what would have been a huge extra base hit.
It was, I mean, if you're going to call anything a perfect throw, that was it.
Yeah.
Right on the money. Here's the 9-hole hitter, George Khalil. So a single for Whitefield, thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. And to your point, he could have been on second on the next pitch, with his wheels, but I'm with you. I like the aggressiveness. Try to get in scoring position out of the gates. Khalil takes a breaking ball. The Aces seeing it well out of So's hand. 4 hits through 8 batters. One to Khalil. He rips one foul. It's 1-2. 7 hits for George over his last 5. He went hitless in the series finale against Adelaide on Sunday. That snapped a 4-game hitting streak. But he did reach base in that one. Worked a walk in the 9th inning, a big walk at the time, to put another man on base. An eventual walk-off win for the Aces. 1-2. Sent in the air, right center. Hit well, but right at Lee, who falls down making the grab. Might have been battling the wind out there. And the inning is over. So 1 run on the leadoff home run from Jared Dale. 2 hits, no errors. No one left on in the second through 2 full. It's 질롱코리아 2 and the Aces 1. A lot more baseball to be played. We'll go to the top of the third after this. Josh taking over on the play-by-play on Aces TV.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800.
First pitch of the third inning is fouled into left field by Kim So-jin. 9-1-2 coming up for GK against Scott Harkin and the Aces. Josh Sperber here on the play-by-play with Aussie Mike in the booth. 2-1. GK leads. A couple big solo home runs have made the difference here. And now it's a 1-1 count to Geelong's third baseman. Harkin's retired 6 straight. One of them, though, did bring in a run as the breaking ball misses outside. 2-1.
Well, that Jared Dale home run was huge for the Aces. It brought life back into this stadium, and got to believe it just energized everybody in the dugout. Hottest hitter on the team right now, doing his thing, leading off the inning. And the Aces are not done scoring tonight. That's for sure.
I honestly, if I had to predict a scoreline, I would say that this is just going to be a high-scoring ball game.
Wind blowing. Dale picked a good time to get that one up in the air, especially out to left field, the way the ball travels out there.
Yeah, it's been really the home run porch for the Melbourne Aces for every team at Melbourne Ballpark this year. I don't have the exact numbers, but I'd have to imagine a vast majority of the home runs hit here have gone out to left. Spiked a fastball into the plate, Din Harkin, and now it's a full count to Kim So-jin. Game number 17 on the season for Kim. 220 average, just 4 RBIs. He won't get another one there as Harkin gets him down swinging. A strikeout in each of his last 3 innings. 3 Ks for Harkin And there's a nice first out here in the top of the third.
Well, Scott's locking in right now. He's looked really good over the last inning plus, after giving up the home run.
First pitch swinging again for GK. That's Soho Chal, who has every reason to be aggressive after he fouls that one into the All-Star bar. He's got to be a lot more careful on this second pitch, because on the second pitch of the game, Soho Chal took him deep. He won't swing at that one, and the count's 1-1.
Scott looks like he's really settled in. He's working quickly. He's trusting his fastball. Most of his pitches tonight have been that fastball.
That is not. That is a breaking ball that So swings and misses at, and it's 1-2. It was his second homer and 6th RBI of the season. And that one led off the game. The wind intensifying here at Melbourne Ballpark as that takes the pitch low and outside, 2-2.
And we just saw 2 curveballs in a row there. I think now that he's really established that fastball as a pitch that, one, he can throw for strikes consistently to both sides of the plate.
Turned on and fouled into the netting, still 2-2.
And 2, one that he can get strikeouts on. I think now it's going to make that curveball that much more effective.
Another packed house here at Melbourne Ballpark. Harkin looking to give the fans something to be excited about. 2-2. Hit on the ground to first. That's going to leak through for a base hit. Third hit of the day for Geelong. Second off the bat of Soho Chal.
Now that ball was hard hit, but I think it was more a result of the pitch coming in pretty hard and just turning it around. But you could clearly see there that he was late on that swing. And it just so happened he shot it through the hole between first and second.
Yeah, just right in the middle of the first and second bases. Not much of a chance for 2 solid fielders in George Khalil and Darryl George. Can't really say George and George, but what can you do? So Kwang Min singled and scored in the first. Now has a runner on first. First base runner GK has had since the opening frame. Short lead off first base for So. Harkin deals. Fastball outside, 2-0. And we're definitely going to keep an eye on those base runners when GK is on the mound, because the home run aside, 질롱코리아 thrives on small ball. They do that better than just about anyone. 2-0, fouled into the netting behind home plate, and now it's 2-1.
Well, this GK team really wore out the Aces in Geelong in round 6. It wasn't just stealing bags, it was the bunts, even just showing bunt, even if they weren't going to drop a bunt down. Playing the mind games, too.
2-1, off goes the runner. Pitch misses for a ball. On the money from LaVarnway, but it bounces right behind Robbie Glendinning. Looked like it was on target, but maybe just not enough on it. And it's 3-1 now to Kwang Min.
42 steals now for this GK team on the season. That's second most in the ABL, but they've also been caught 20 times. So not a great percentage. Just over 2/3 of the time they're successful. So if you're going to be a base stealing team, you'd like the numbers to be a little better.
I think a lot of those base stealing opportunities turn into hit and runs, though. And if you counted that, I'm sure it would be a bit higher than 42, as the fastball misses inside. And off go the batting gloves. Kwang Min is on with a 1-out walk.
That walk's not a huge deal right there. First base was open. The walks that really hurt are the ones where no one's on base, or it pushes one runner or multiple runners to another base. But now it sets up the double play. You got the force available at first, second, and third. But definitely a tough spot with 2 dangerous hitters here in Park and Song.
Yeah, the 2 best power hitters currently on the roster, as the pitch fouled away by Park Ju-hong. In Jae-hoon, 4th in the ABL with 7 homers. But he is not on the roster for GK. 0-1 to Park, as you can see the wind blowing the netting, blowing the dirt just about everywhere here at Melbourne Ballpark. 0-1's a curve, settles on the outside corner for a called strike 2. And he'd like an inning double play, but you know Harkin is just looking to get the out right here. 2 on and 1 out. 2-1 the score with GK in the lead. Harkin deals. Just missing upstairs. Count 1-2.
It's just all about getting outs. I mean, that's the goal. It doesn't matter how it's done. It just late in the season. Doesn't matter how you win a ball game. You got one more run than the other team. It's a win. That's what this team needs to worry about right now. Just winning games. And I think that we saw in the Adelaide series a really good mindset. Look, you get down, but you just chip away. You don't have to get it all back in one inning. But pitchers, when they're pitching from behind, just worry about limiting the damage.
That's a good way to do it. Getting Park Ju-hong to get an ugly swing on a nasty curveball. 4th K of the day for Harkin, and a big out number 2 here in the 3rd.
Yeah, buried that curveball in the dirt, and that's a great pitch because it forced Park to chase, and that's not a pitch you make contact on because it's in the dirt. That's where you want that breaking ball. And if it's a ball, it's a ball. Who cares? The count would have been 2-2. But he got the swing and the miss, so perfect placement there.
If you can get that swinging strike on a pitch that, if it was hit, it would have just been a dribbler. That's what you want. First pitch to Song Chan-oi, hit high in the air, dropping lower in a left center field, but still an easy play for Aaron Whitefield to finish it off the 3rd inning. Geelong strands 2 on a hit, but don't score a run, and it is still a 1-run ball game. We'll take it into the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-1. GK leads, but the Aces looking to close the gap.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
The Aces get out a little bit of trouble there in the top of the 3rd. They head to the bottom half, trailing by a run, and with the top of the order coming up to the plate, Burke, Glendenning, and Stoll in a 2-1 ball game here on Tuesday Night Baseball. First pitch to Burke, in there for a called strike. He extended his on-base streak to 7 straight games with a high chopper of a single in the 1st. So Jun Wan deals inside. Burke lets it drop for ball 1. And we want to give a shout out to a special Aces fans who unfortunately has fallen a little bit ill. Was trying to come to the ballpark on this Tuesday night. As so deals, Burke fouls it back 1-2. So Hudson Lowry, we really wish we could have you at the ballpark today, but we know he's watching back home, and we're really thankful for him and the rest of the viewers who have been sticking with us all season long. Hopefully we'll have some playoff baseball to give for you next week as Burke lets the breaking ball go out 2-2. And we also want to wish Hudson a speedy recovery. Hope we can get him back to the ballpark soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate the support. It's been a fun season. We appreciate any support we get from the Aces fans. So
a 2-2 bounced in front of the plate to Burke. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Aces left fielder. So, stepping off is You see the wind intensifying a little bit. It's even blowing the rosin bag a little bit off the mount. You can really see how heavy the wind is today. So Jun Wan just wanting to wait it out a little bit. Burke's back in the box now. A full count to the Aces leadoff man. The pitch. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3. 3 Ks now for Jun Wan and 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Well, the Aces got some really good swings against the first time through the order. 4 hits, including the Dale homer. So I expect them to continue to get good swings the second time through and just see it even better.
Now Robbie Glendening, who's 1 for 1 on the day, comes up to the plate. An check swing over to short. Easy play for Soho Chal, out number 2. And you could tell Glendening displeased with himself there. I was riding a bit inside. Didn't want to go after it, but he just kind of pokes it out to short.
Yeah, he tried to make up his mind a little too late there. Didn't want to commit, and ball just inadvertently hit the bat. And yeah, he definitely wants that AB back, but he'll get him next time.
Now Jake Skoll, the birthday boy, coming up to the plate. Struck out in his first at bat, as this one is chopped foul. And it's probably pretty uncommon for him to be playing baseball on his birthday. A January guy, grew up in Georgia, where it might be hot enough to play what is winter baseball in America, but not a lot of organized ball in the United States at this time of year.
Right. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It really is.
The 0-1 to Skoll. Breaking ball, just catching the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Now, I'm a June birthday, so I've called games and played games on my birthday multiple times in my life, but got a chance to call a game on my half birthday for the first time ever this year. Well, technically last year, this season.
0-2 now to Skoll. The pitch. Missing low, 1-2. Skoll turning 31 today and having a really solid season for the Aces. A homer and 4 RBIs. In his 20th game for Melbourne, he's 21 for 72 on the year. Second strikeout of the day, though, as Jun Wan gets him swinging to end the inning. So the Aces go down in order for the first time all day, and we are through the first third of the last home game of the regular season. Geelong leads Melbourne 2-1.
We give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be run without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
A hot day has turned into a windy day here at Melbourne Ballpark. The wind right now blowing Geelong's way as GK leads the Aces 2-1 inning here in the 4th inning. Oh Jong Han leads off the 4th, fouls that into the Aces dugout, count 0-1. 2 runs for GK in that first inning. Solo shot by Soho Chal. Kwang Min with a single and a run scored. And they're the only two players for GK that have got on base. 0-2 now to 0. He swings and misses. It's strike 3. Harkin has really settled down since that first inning. 5 strikeouts for him in his second consecutive start.
It's impressive to watch him go about his work, and also to how he reacted to giving up the home run and the single early. Yeah, like you said, it's just the top 2 guys in the lineup who've gotten on base. Everybody else, 3 through 9, he's just mowed through them.
And now he's got the 6-hitter for GK as Lee Jin Young fouls one away. .240 hitter on the season. Lee in his first game against Melbourne this year, as that's fouled towards third base. 5 pitches, 5 strikes for Scott Harkin here in the fourth. Added to the team in January, played against Perth and Auckland. So was not on the roster for the 2 series against Melbourne. 0-2. Fastball upstairs, and there's the first miss of the inning, 1-2.
You know, this Melbourne weather just does not make sense to me. I mean, you look out there now, it's pretty clear.
1-2. Curveball gets below LaVarn Way, and it's 2-2.
And before, it looked like we were in the middle of a tornado.
Yeah, very tornado-looking skies.
I mean,
scary.
Now it's like, kind of light blue off in the distance. It's still, kind of grayish and dark out there. Like rain could be out there, but in the matter of minutes, you go from that to this.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Especially when it was hot and sunny for the entire day.
So unpredictable.
A full count now to Lee. Harkin the pitch, fouled away, and it hit the roof.
I think we could have compromised and asked for some of this breeze when it was as hot as it was earlier in the day with no wind, and taken some of it away from now.
Full count, the pitch. Early swing. This is looped into left center field, and that's going to fall in for a bloop single. Lee Jin Young, the first hit behind the 2 spot. And now each team has 4 hits.
He just flicked his bat out there, and he looked a little fooled. He was way out in front, and gets rewarded with a hit out of it.
He had that Chris Burke single that chopped in front of home plate and bounced as high as I've seen a ball bounce in a baseball stadium. And there is kind of the redemption for GK, just a bloop single where he was way out in front of it.
I'll just go grab one.
Kim Ju-sung fouls one back. He flied out to Whitefield in his last time up. Runner on first to play with in Lee Jin Young. Lee dancing around on first. As Harkin slowing himself down a little bit. Fouled away by Kim. It's 0-2. Lee has no stolen bases yet. Was caught on his only attempt. Kim Ju-sung has played a lot of baseball this season for GK. 0-2. Curveball hitting the air out to center field. Whitefield easing under it and making the grab. A quick throw to first base off the bag, and it wouldn't have been in time anyway. But a good idea by Whitefield to put the pressure on Lee Jin Young.
I'm a little surprised that Lee was that far off the bag, especially with Whitefield's momentum taking him in. But he's done a good job patrolling center on a day where not a lot of people want to play outfield on a day like today.
Yeah, the wind, as heavy as it is, it can't be easy to play in the outfield as the curveball settles in for a strike to Cho Hyung-woo. Catcher also making his first appearance against Melbourne. 0-1, cut on and missed. A breaking ball gets by him for 0-2. Harkin deals. Bouncing in front of LaVarn Way. It'll keep the runner on first base, though. And it is now 1-2.
See if he can get out of it. I mean, Harkin's been great so far tonight. 5 strikeouts already. Big time for number 6.
The 1-2. Inside on the fastball, 2-2.
How about that curveball drop that down 12-6 right now after going fastball up and in.
Definitely has more of the plate open. Off goes the runner. 2-2 is chopped over to short. Glendinning fields. Throw to first. Ends the inning. Another inning with a runner on via base hit, but GK leaves him stranded. No runs, a hit, one left. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Aces trailing 2-1.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Plenty of fans here at Melbourne Ballpark after a record-breaking weekend in round number 9. 5,000 fans coming to Melbourne Ballpark in the final full home series of the regular season. And they're still spilling in for a crucial ending to round 1. Darryl George leads off the inning. A sliding stop at second by Kim. And the first out in the inning after a really good defensive play by Kim Ju-sung.
Really nice play. Not a lot of time to react to that. He just took a hit away from Darryl.
It looked like that was going to be a seeing eye single there for George. But instead, it's one out here in the fourth. Ryan Lavarnway up at the plate. Jared Dale in the on-deck circle. Both of these guys with potential to tie the game. We already saw Dale hit a solo homer, and Lavarnway has hit a couple since joining the team for round 7 in Canberra. That time he lines one just fair down the left field line. Lavarnway is going to run around first as the ball rolls into the corner. He'll head to second, and Lavarnway is the tying run on second base with a one-out double.
Nice piece right there. Got his bat head out on it and just ripped it down the line. We'll take a look at the replay right here. You know, this is a guy who just knows the strike zone so well. Such good bat speed. I mean, look at that. Just rips it right down the line, kept it fair. Now the tying run's in scoring position with only one out.
And the hottest hitter to come do it. Jared Dale, a solo shot already. Hits in each of his last 7. And a couple of multi-hit games in big spots against Adelaide this past weekend. So Jun Wan slowing things down with a runner on base. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. A big late surge for Dale, a guy who's been getting better and better every series, it seems like. And man, did he have a good round against Adelaide. 1-0, hit high in the air and foul.
Well, he's really coming on strong, and you just see the confidence up there. You know, you look at him in the box and you know he's confident.
8 for 17 against Adelaide with 2 RBIs, one of them in walk-off fashion. In a much-needed game for Melbourne. Had they lost that, this game would not potentially count towards a playoff run. Breaking ball low and away, 2-1. Dale also hit his second home run of the season. A shot against Perth back in round 2. He represents the go-ahead run. Lavarnway, the tying run on second. 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. Do you think So's pitching around Dale a little bit?
I wouldn't be surprised. Look, he can't leave one in the middle of the zone again, otherwise it may be a 3-2 game.
Did you hear me there?
3-1 the count. 2-1 the score. Geelong in the lead. So Jun-Wan deals. Fastball zips into the inside corner, fills up the count at 3-2. Robson on deck for the Aces. And you'd love to see him come up with 2 runners on. Full count to Dale. So deals. Dale grounds that one to short. Easy play for Soho Chal. Dale sprinting towards first, but is beaten by a step. A nice throw from Soho Chal for out number 2.
And Dale didn't take anything for granted there. Busted it out of the box. Knew the ball hit in the hole there. Yeah, routine play for Shaw, but Dale had a chance to beat it with his good speed.
Hey, you want to keep the pressure on these guys. And that's exactly what Dale did.
Yeah, have to force a quick throw, maybe force an errant throw. Now throws on the money, but still, you make the defense make the plays. And it's not just make the play in the field. It's, you got to make them make a good throw, and by busting it down the line there.
So now 2 outs for Robson. He's hit 4 home runs this season. 2 of them in this ballpark, 2 of them against Geelong. That's first pitch in there for a called strike. He had a couple home runs against Perth. Had a 2 home run game in the last game of the last series against Geelong. The 0-1. Outside on the breaker, 1-1. Robson hitting .243 on the year, 4 homers. As Mike mentioned earlier, the Aces leader in on-base percentage. 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Robson scored the go-ahead run after J.D. Osborne led off the 9th with a walk. Robson was put on to pinch run, but 4 walks for Todd Van Steensel led to an Aces walk-off victory, their second in 3 days. The 2-1. Hit on the ground right back to the pitcher, so underhand flip to first for out number 3, and once again, the Aces leave a runner stranded in scoring position. A 1-out double from Lavarnway does not come home, and no runs on a hit, 1 left for Melbourne. Keeps the score 2-1 through the first 4 innings. The makers of Dasher and Fisher began in 2017 with a vision to specialize in gins that speak of place and expect Tasmania's remoteness and untouched beauty. Taste the rich, fertile soils and pure Cradle Mountain snowmelt in every drop of Dasher and Fisher Tasmanian gin. Crew Fitness and Performance has a more than vision. What drives the crew team and its members is a dedication to community and an eagerness to be surrounded by a personal growth culture. Stop into their location in Braybrook or Hoppers Crossing to see for yourself. Now is the time to save on Aces membership for the next season. For more on that, here's our own Ed Wyatt.
I am here down in the stands amongst it. Great crowd tonight. Final homestand of the season, but that doesn't mean the baseball is over. Oh no, it's just beginning because the Aces will be back next year. We've got 2023-2024 memberships on sale now, and there's early bird pricing. You know what that means? The early bird gets the worm. Get your membership for next year at this year's pricing. Does that make sense? I think it does.
Top of the 4th inning. Aces trailing 2-1, but it's been a really contentious back and forth game, as we've seen quite a lot of against Geelong. And Ed is to make the quick trip up from the stands into the broadcast booth. How you doing, Ed?
I'm not nearly as good a shape as I used to be. It is, tell you what, that wind out there, worse than the rain. Rain not too bad. I think you may have dodged a bullet. Have a look. Hard to say, but wind is absolutely a factor.
Well, we saw the radar. It seemed like the heavy stuff had kind of come past us as Scott Harkin opens up the 5th with a ball outside. But I think the wind might have helped you get up here so quickly.
I think it did. I had a tailwind.
Just blew you right up the stairs. You didn't even move your legs.
I think it definitely helped on Dale's home run. I do think the wind actually had a pretty boost there, 'cause it was swirling and carrying out sort of towards left field.
1-1. Kim hits it on a line and bounces past the glove of Jared Dale into left for a base hit. Kim holds up after heading past first base, and that is a leadoff base runner for Geelong. I think that's going to be ruled a hit.
Yeah, I think it is.
Back to the top of the order for 질롱코리아 and Soho-Chul.
So Kim So-jin on first base with a single. And now Soho-Chul, who has 2 hits today.
He's been hitting the ball real well. Been a lot of hard hits, John.
Yeah, each team has been swinging the bat real well today. It's officially marked down as Geelong's 6th hit as the first pitch settles in for a strike to So. A homer and a single for Soho-Chul, so he's halfway to the cycle.
I think for them, 질롱코리아, nothing to play for, right? Having some fun. You know they're going to be competitive. That's in their culture. That's in their sort of team concept. They're not going to come out here and embarrass themselves, but they're absolutely having a good time swinging the bat.
And these are guys that are getting ready for a very competitive KBL. So you know they're going to want to bring their A game, particularly against Melbourne, as the 1-1 pitch misses upstairs, 2-1.
Just looking at the body language, watching in the field, made a couple of plays. There was a real excitement when they actually made those plays. So yeah, they're absolutely in to win this thing.
Geelong getting their first series win against Melbourne when they were on the road. Hot shot to second, Khalil Fields to Glendinning for one. That's picked by Daryl George. Double play. Flashing the leather at first base and a huge double play for 2 outs here in the 5th.
You're getting a look at it, Josh, and it's one thing we saw in that last series. Daryl George absolutely playing the heck out of first base.
He's playing like a guy who wants playoff baseball, that's for sure.
He certainly is. Tell you what, he wouldn't be moving off first base if I'm Peter Moore. He's staying there.
He can play first, third. That's the thing with George. Very versatile player, and I don't think there has been an Aces player who has played just one position in the field, except for the pitcher.
Yeah, and that's been a trademark of this team over the years, that ability to step in when needed, and that offers the managers, whoever it was at the time, an opportunity to play with the lineup a little bit.
So a 2-0 count with 2 outs to Kwang Min. The DH for GK as he gets a curveball from Harkin to make it 2-1.
I like that. DH for GK. Just rolls up your tongue.
Just easy. 2-1. Hit hard. George diving, and he knocks it down, but there's no one at first base. Harkin a bit late on the coverage, and George may have just saved a double with a diving stop.
Yeah, nothing really he could do about that, as you mentioned, with no one covering first. But continuing that really good play over first base. Just fun to watch. When he's swinging the bat well, there's nobody better in the ABL to watch, honestly. Having watched him over the years, just so much fun to watch. Loves playing the game. Great guy. You know, he's got the whole package.
And granted, I've only really seen him on a baseball field, but he's just always happy when he's on a baseball field. Yeah. Bat, glove in his hand, you know, and I feel like a really good-natured, happy guy like that, he just seems at his happiest here at Melbourne Ballpark.
Yeah.
Scott Harkin has to be happy with that. 2 straight strikes to Park Joo-hong, the guy who's gone down swinging twice against the right-hander from California. The 0-2. Curveball inside. Lavarnway is going to miss the stolen base chance. And it is an easy swipe of second for Kwang Min. 2 swipes today. And Lavarnway tried to go for the back pick at first, but Kwang was halfway to second base at that time.
Now it looks like they potentially maybe sending him back to first. Is that what I'm looking at here? I'm not sure. I'm speculating. That seems what may be happening.
And the coaches just seem confused about it. It does look like he's walking back to first base. Because you got to think, Lavarnway, he's been a major league catcher for 10 years. He was going to first on that stolen base.
Folks, if you want free popcorn, you need to get loud and proud. Let's hear you.
So it seems like the stolen base from Kwon Kwang Min has been nullified. We'll have to try and get some more info on that.
The interpreter's shaking his head down there, so he disagrees with the call, as well as the management.
I think maybe the play might have been blown dead because there was a bit of a bobble from LeVar Wang. 1-2. Kwon stays and Park fouls it away. It'll still be 1-2. So another one of those lucky breaks that we're talking about. That's certainly something that goes the Aces' way.
Nothing to argue.
Although one more strike nullifies the base runner anyway. 1-2. Curveball chopped up the middle over the head of Harkin. Khalil grabs it, misses the tag, throws to first, and there's the out. So stolen base or not, Kwon Kwang Min will stay on the base paths. No runs on 2 hits and 1 left for Geelong Korea. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, a 2-1 lead for GK. We're halfway home in the Aces' last home game of the regular season.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock-take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
We're halfway home in the final home game of the regular season. We go from round 9 to round 1. As the final game of round 1 was rained out between the Aces and Geelong. Still some happy fans here at Melbourne Ballpark.
And the official Aces team shop, of course. Not too late if you're here to get some merchandise, or go online, melbourneaces.com.au, and the stuff looks fantastic.
Yeah, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. I'm going to need an extra suitcase to bring some fun stuff home for my family as Whitefield tails this one out of bounds and foul.
Yeah, I mean, I actually bought one of the blue wind cheaters, took it back to my dad for Christmas. Loved it.
Yeah, I'm still deciding on what to get my family. I think my dad always gets the same thing. He's a big hat guy. So I just get him the jokingly named dad hats. A couple of those.
Yep. Do the trick.
I'm getting him the bright pink one. If you're listening, Dad, you're getting a bright pink Aces hat.
To go with this bright pink Yankee hat?
Oh, he wouldn't be caught dead wearing a Yankee hat. Whitefield hits this one high in the air out to left field. Oh Jung Han chasing towards the foul line, diving, and he won't make the play. Whitefield speeds around first into second base, and a leadoff double for Aaron Whitefield.
That was one of those tricky ones, wasn't it? Because I think it would have landed fair, but I'm not sure with that wind.
Yeah, the wind really took this one.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was on the warning track initially, and Oh Jung Han just kept trying to find it, and it just landed in the perfect spot, right next to the foul line. And Whitefield stays just sprinting, and he moves right into second base. And I think the GK management is arguing where that hit. It looked to me like it hit plainly fair.
I thought so as well. I thought his glove hit it in fair, and then maybe it carried into foul after it caromed off his glove. Let's have a look, see if we can tell. This may not be an angle for it, but here we go. So I thought it was going to drift out of play, but I think he hits it. That's fair. That's absolutely a fair ball.
Yeah, and pretty promptly, the Geelong manager, Lee Byung-koo, and his translator are just going right back to the dugout because there's no argument there. So Whitefield tried for extra bases in the second. He gets the extra bases here. 6 hits for Melbourne and a leadoff double with their most dangerous base runner in scoring position. He may steal, but if Khalil finds green grass, this game will be tied. First pitch into Khalil, and it's an 0-1 count. Khalil flied out to center his first time up. A guy whose hitting has dramatically improved since the beginning of the season. And the glove has always been solid, no matter where he is put in the infield. 0-1 slider in there for a strike.
Yeah,
Khalil
it's a
swings
nice
and
pitch.
misses. Yeah, those sidearm sliders have been very tricky.
A lot of fun to watch, as you can imagine, from those luxury seats down right behind home plate. Great place to watch a game. Really interesting with the sidearm.
I don't think there's a better seat in a house, in any house, than those. 0-2. Khalil lets it go. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
Ouch.
A late punch out from Stuart Howe, but so Jun Wan, getting his first strikeout since the third, his 4th overall. Or his 5th overall, excuse me.
Yes.
Well, I can't count. But
I was waiting for you. I was just about to draw the line to the 5th.
Yeah.
You said 4, and I go, maybe I'm wrong, which I usually am. Usually you're right, John.
I think that's giving me too much credit. 1 out, runner on second for Chris Burke, who delivered the tying run on Sunday. And he would like to do that again here. And I think Geelong watched some tape because the shortstop, Soho Chal, is right next to second base, I think partly to hold Whitefield on, but also because that's where Burke hit that game-tying single.
Look at that.
Right into the shift. Whitefield to third, Soho Chal throws out Burke at first base.
That is very well spotted by you, Josh, and if they indeed watched tape, which they probably did, that is really something. That's really good baseball.
But it does get the runner to third. 2 outs and a runner on third base. The Aces still hitless in, I think there are 6 at-bats with runners in scoring position now. 6 or 8, one of the two. Get an updated look at that stat, but it's Robbie Glendinning who inside outs the first pitch. Right past the turf in the outfield, Song Chan Oi makes the grab, and the Aces unable to bring home the runner on a leadoff double. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We'll head into the 6th inning. GK still leads at 2-1, and Aussie Mike will come back in for the play-by-play for the 6th and the 7th. The Aces season on the line. Stick with us on Aces TV.
Hit that.
Oh, we've been there for every game of 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradley skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kick the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be right without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
We move to the top of the 6th inning at Melbourne Ballpark. Aussie Mike and Ed Wyatt with you in the booth. Josh taking the next couple innings off. Well, Ed, similar story here tonight. A close game in the middle innings. The Aces are in it, but they play from behind as they bring on John Kennedy on this punt 1-2-3 pitching change. More numbers on Kennedy in a minute. But another close game. The Aces are in it, and that's all you can ask for at this point.
It is indeed, although I don't like seeing runners stranded, especially when that leadoff runner makes it to second base. Leadoff batter makes it to second base. But you're right. We've seen this before. There's time to make it up. If Kennedy can do what he's done for most of the season, that's shut the team down without allowing any runs, then the Aces can start it again in the bottom of the sixth.
So Peter Moylan's first move to the bullpen tonight brings on the southpaw Kennedy on this punt 1-2-3 pitching change. And on one pitch, he's got one out. Glendinning over to George, and Song Chun-Oi, one of the best hitters in the league this season, is retired. Well, that's massive.
Yeah, it certainly is. One of the best hitters in the league, and you get him on one pitch. That's beautiful. That's the kind of stuff Kennedy's been doing most of his career, to be honest.
Quietly having a really solid season, a 3 ERA for John. He's been one of the most trusted weapons out of Moylan's pen. He's pitched in each of the last 4 games now, so you know that late in the season when the games mean so much that, you know, if a guy's pitching 4 days in a row, he's definitely in that A team out of the pitching staff.
And this is one of those rare things where he's not in a jam.
Yeah.
It's always like, hey, John, I got good news for you. Coming to pitch. Bad news. There's 2 men on.
Yeah, he seems to be the guy that has to get out of a lot of jams. Breaking ball misses into the left-handed hitting Oh Jong-han.
I was talking to Josh about that. This 질롱코리아 team is in this to win it. No doubt about it.
A lot of talent on this GK team. And, I mean, you know, 13 wins this season. They play every game tough, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I was here calling a lot of their games when they were first starting in the league, and it didn't nearly have this talent. It was kind of sad, actually. They only won a couple of games. This is a completely different ball club.
1-2 the count. The pitch from Kennedy. Hot shot to the right side. That's through for a base hit. So Oh Jong-han picks up his first hit of the night. 1 out base runner for Lee Jin-young. Well, Kennedy, in 2/3 of an inning on Sunday in the win against Adelaide, threw just 12 pitches, faced 2 batters, struck them both out. Threw 8 pitches the night before. So not a ton of pitches, but getting a lot of use. Well, it's nice to see a guy be able to get out of innings quickly and not need to throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah, because then, of course, you can use him again, as you said, 4 consecutive nights. You can't do that if he's throwing a lot of pitches, obviously.
Short lead for the man on first. Swing and a miss. Nasty changeup down and in.
Good pitch.
Scott Harkin was great starting on short rest. Just 3 days of rest for Scott today. He matched what he did on Friday, going 5 innings. This time he gave up 2 runs. Both came in the first inning. Here's a ground ball to second, could be 2. Khalil to Glendinning, over to George for the second time tonight. It's an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play, and the Aces are out of another inning with a 0 on the board. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. The Aces have 4 more chances to put up some runs. They trail by 1 in middle innings. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th after this on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Jake Skoll, Daryl George, and Ryan Lavarnway, 3-4-5 due up for the Aces in a crucial 6th inning. Aces trailed Geelong Korea 2-1 in a makeup game from round 1. Big game for the Aces as they need this win to keep their playoff hopes alive. If the Aces win their final 5 games of the regular season, they get in the playoffs. If they lose any of them, they're out. It's as simple as that, Ed, as Jake Skoll comes to bat for the 3rd time. Look, running out of chances, but still 4 innings to play with, but you'd like to see the Aces get some momentum and start driving some of these runners in.
As silly as it sounds, Mike, you want to win this one, right? Go to Perth with a chance. You don't want to lose this one and then have to trudge over to Perth and face them. And Skoll has really struggled tonight at the plate. Just doesn't look comfortable up there.
And to your point about that Perth series meaning something, I mean, that's a big difference to win this game and have that 5-hour flight, knowing that you go in there and win 4, you get in. So, you know, the hope is that that is the case. There's the 1-2 pitch to Skoll, swing and a miss. So he's down on strikes for the 3rd time. So has looked really good. He allowed the leadoff homer to Dale to open the 2nd, but that's it so far.
Yeah, he has, absolutely. You're right, with the 3-1 series win over Perth earlier in the season, you know, you've got an opportunity. You know, you've got to think that you've got a crack at it. But, yeah, you want to give yourself a chance by winning this one.
The middle innings have been an issue for the Aces this season. In innings 4 through 6, opponents are outscoring the Aces by 15 runs. Now, neither team has scored in innings 4 through 6 to this point. And if the Aces do in this inning, it would at least tie the game. But those middle innings crucial, and at least on the pitching side and defense side, they've done a good job of throwing up zeros on the board in these middle innings.
Yeah, that 6th inning in particular has been really bad for the Aces, so maybe we turn it around here with a couple of hits coming up here in the bottom of the 6th.
The Aces are 0-8 when they score 2 runs or less this season. 1 right now. Pitch to George is over. It's 0-1. But the Aces are 13-10 when they score 3 or more. Big difference there.
Huge.
And we're not even talking like 6 or 7 runs. It's just 3 runs and they've got a winning record.
Exactly.
Next pitch to Darryl. 2 out of play.
It has been that kind of season, hasn't it? Just close losses, little things here and there. Throw a few things in a different way, and you're in the playoffs already, really, or just about on the brink of them.
15 wins for the Aces this season, but 13 wins in games they've actually played. The entire Round 5 series at Auckland was wiped out. George rips one through the hole into right field, a base hit. So he picks on an 0-2 fastball and sends one through, but the point about that is in the 13 games they've won on the field, they scored 3 or more. So basically, if they score 3 or more, they win. They score 2 or less, they lose. So 2-1 right now. Still,
what's that tell you?
still 11 outs to play with.
That's right. We need a couple runs. What it means.
The numbers don't lie. I'm just reading them. You know,
right.
I'm just reading them.
And reading them very well, I might add.
I'm just relaying the information. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it is. Yep.
Here's Lavarnway, doubled in the 4th.
The Aces have had traffic on the bases pretty much every inning, you know, except the 3rd.
Yes.
Every inning except the 3rd, they've had a man on or more. 1-0, that's outside. 3 extra base hits for the Aces in this game. 7 overall. 7 hits overall. A lot of hits in this game, not a lot of runs for either side.
Yeah, 14 hits total, 3 runs total.
2-0 to Lavarnway. There's a strike on the outer half.
How many baseball players, you know, walk around, get ready for the game, reading a novel?
Yeah.
That's Ryan Lavarnway. Interesting guy.
He's an intellectual guy.
He surely is.
I mean,
Sure is.
He's extremely fun to talk to, just with whether it's baseball or something outside of baseball. It's always a good conversation.
He's a really interesting guy. I would love to have had him around for the entire season.
Just pick his brain. You know, I love sitting down and talking to guys about their careers. You know, fun teammates you've had, best parks to play in, which stadium's got the best food, things like that. And, what was it like, in LaVarnway's case, catching this pitcher or facing this pitcher in the big leagues, things like that. Just talking to Justin Huber, our GM, on a daily basis, just hearing here and there the stories of his career.
He's got some great stories. Yeah, he does.
It's wild to hear some of these big league stories, and and we're around so many here at Melbourne. I mean, there's so many big league connections here with the Aces. Ryan, the latest to join the bunch. 2-2 sent through the hole into left. Back-to-back base hits from George and LaVarnway. The Aces got something cooking here. The tying and go-ahead runs are on base in the 6th.
Justin Huber tell you the story about the game that got gnatted out. There were so many gnats or mosquitoes that it was just like a wave when the game got canceled. Somewhere up in Canada, like Manitoba or somewhere in the summer. So many mosquitoes and flying insects, they canceled the game.
Baseball is just different. You don't hear things like that. That doesn't happen in basketball. You play indoors. It doesn't happen in hockey.
No.
Football, they play through anything. It's crazy.
Well, here's Jared Dale, homered in the 2nd. Possibly wind-aided. The wind was really whipping at the time. But
picked a good time to hit it up in the air.
Certainly did. He's got a real chance here now with 2 men on and only 1 out.
Hottest hitter on the team. One of the hottest hitters in the league. I haven't seen what other guys are doing right now across the rest of the ABL, but he's up there. Aces down a run, bottom 6. Pitch from So. He's got that breaking ball that he drops on the outer half of these righties.
Remarkable, isn't it?
That's got to be tough to pick up out of the hand, with his release point. 질롱코리아 looking to spoil the Aces' playoff hopes. Pitch to Dale, fastball high, snap throw down to 2nd. That was a good throw, but George got back.
That was a good throw, interesting. Not sure if that's something he picked up on or...
He looked ready to throw.
Just sort of, he was ready to throw, wasn't he? Got rid of it quickly, put it right there.
Things like that, that's the indication that 질롱코리아 wants this game bad. Looking to play spoiler.
Yeah.
You don't do things like that if you're just going through the motions. 1-1, that's outside. So the Ace is doing a good job of laying off these sliders off the plate.
Yeah.
And picking on the fastball. We saw George lay off a slider, go fastball to right. And then we saw LaVarnway do the same thing. Took the fastball to left. Darrell's the tying run out there. That's a massive run. Pitch, that's outside. And, well, they snuck this by us, but LaVarnway no longer in the game. J.D. Osborne pinch running for him at first base. So
well spotted.
Looks like J.D. will go in to catch the rest of the way. Now that's a move to get a little more speed out there. Takes Ryan's bat out of the lineup, but you got to fight for those runs when you got the chance. Dale takes another one.
Good pitch there, coming back. Yeah, you're right. It's a bit of a gamble, but you do need to do that. I think you take his bat, as you said, but also his leadership and his nous behind the plate. But on the other hand, you're right. You got to take some chances.
And I've really liked the moves that Moylan's made, as aggressive as he's managed these last two, this game and the last series.
Agreed.
Payoff pitch to Dale. He fights one off, and this is the time of year you have to do it. I mean, if a guy doesn't have it on the mound, you yank him. You got another guy ready in the pen.
Yep.
The strategic moves we saw on Sunday against Adelaide, a pinch hitting decision and a pinch running decision, both worked.
Yep.
And it led to a win. Well, the man on first, Osborne, who's pinch running for LaVarnway, he went 3 for 3 and reached base safely in all 4 of his plate appearances on Sunday. So it's a nice piece to have in the game as well. 3-2. Dale sends one on the ground to third. This could be 2 to second for 1. It pulled. Oh, here comes the runner home. George tries to score. The throw to the plate. In and out of the glove of the catcher, Cho, and he's safe. The Aces tie the game on a wild play. Osborne's out at second on the fielder's choice, but Darrell George never stopped running, and that's a big-time tying run.
That's a very strange play because Osborne thought he was out by a mile, so he's going to break it up. He slides early. The throw is off the base. He could have been safe if he'd done a normal slide. George is probably out here if the catcher holds onto the ball, but Joe loses it right there. And we get a tie game.
Wow, all of a sudden we're knotted at 2. So Dale safe at first on the fielder's choice. George comes around to score. And Osborne forced out at second. So the inning continues. Here's Jacob Robson, and now he hits with the game tied.
That's one for your scorebook.
Yeah, so 5-4 fielder's choice, and like you said, the second baseman, Kim, was off the bag. He had to go back and touch it, and while all that was happening, George darted for home, and he made it. Now, you're right, he's probably out if the ball's hung onto, but sometimes you got to make the defense make a play, and
that's what we were talking about, right? Yeah. Taking some chances.
Love it. That's a playoff atmosphere baseball for you. Dale bluffs a steal attempt. Robson drops one down, and it's handled by the pitcher. So 1-3 on the putout, and the inning is over. But we're tied at 2 after 6 full. The Aces get one in the bottom of the 6th. A weird play, fielder's choice that leads to a run. You don't see it often, but the Aces get the run on the hustle from Darryl George. So we go to the top of the 7th. Game tied at 2. Big one here in Melbourne. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just a sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
The Aces get a run in the bottom of the 6th to tie the game at 2. Darryl George, a hustled play.
That looks like Darryl George right there, hustling around the bases.
The kids running. Oh, that's always fun here at the ballpark. But Darryl George on a ball hit by Jared Dale to the left side. 5-4 fielder's choice at second. The throw was offline, which forced the second baseman for 질롱코리아, Kim, to go off the bag, then step on second. And then by that time, George was headed home. The throw was in time. The tag was there. But the catcher, Cho, didn't hold on to the ball, and all of a sudden the Aces tied the game.
That's the little crazy plays we talked about for the last 4 or 5 days.
John Kennedy out for another inning. He threw just 9 pitches to get 3 outs in the 6th. And now there's a single up the middle from Kim Ju-sung. And just like that, the go-ahead runs back on base for 질롱코리아 here in the 7th.
Couldn't have hit that in a better spot, really. No one had a chance at that.
Right up the middle.
Yep. Good leadoff hit from Kim. Here's the catcher, Cho. Had a busy inning.
So here is Cho, and that play at home could turn out to be a huge one. As Darryl George, like we said, took a gamble, took a chance, made the defense make a play. 질롱코리아 didn't finish it off. The Aces got a run because of it.
You see his face after the play, anguish, and then he kind of had a smile. It's kind of like almost at it.
Pitch down and in. Kennedy looking for another double play ball. The Aces turned an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play to end the 6th. They got a double play in the 5th as well. Scott Harkin started for the Aces, 5 innings of 2-run ball, struck out 5, and walked just 1. Well, in his last 2 outings, Scott has done a great job limiting base runners. He gave up 6 hits today, but in his last 2 starts in 10 innings, he's only walked 2. Now Kennedy out for a second inning of relief. Here's a ground ball, could be 2. Dale over to Khalil. George at first throws off line, so they don't get 2, but they get the lead man.
Throw just a little bit off line. George, as miraculous as he's played first base these last few days, couldn't do anything with that one.
Yeah, he wasn't making anything happen there. But he does save an overthrow coming off the bag there. It looks like 질롱코리아 has a pinch hitter here. This is Kim So-jin's spot in the order. Actually, no, it might still be who it is. We'll double check. Now they are pinch hitting. It's Kim Tae-in.
52, yes.
Kim Tae-in pinch hitting. So Lee Byung-kyu's gone to his bench, just like Peter Moylan did in the last half inning as J.D. Osborne entered the game as a pinch runner for Ryan Lavarnway. Next one from Kennedy, fouled back.
Top of 7. There's 3 more chances for the Aces to get a run, win this thing, and set up that big series in Perth.
Kennedy working quickly, has another one spoiled, foul, and the count's 1-2. A lot of use for John lately. He's pitched 5 times in the new year. And overall on the season, this is his 11th game.
There's the Brains Trust there. John Diebel on the left, Peter Moylan on the right, doing a little dance. The dance of nerves, I would think, potentially for Pete. Tight game, a lot on the line.
It's essentially playoff baseball in the regular season. Well, this one's sent in the gap into right center. Extra bases for the pinch hitter for 질롱코리아. And the runner is held up at third. Tag at second just late. Well, they made that a lot closer than it probably should have been. Excellent relay from the Aces, but trouble here with 1 out in the 7th. Runners at second and third.
That was a well-hit ball to deep right center. Nice play by Whitefield. But he's never going to get to it, but certainly prevented a run from scoring. A really well-hit ball by that pinch hitter, Kim.
So Kim, the pinch hitter, delivers. And now a meeting on the mound with Osborne, the catcher. Osborne stayed in to catch when he pinch ran for Lavarnway. Well, we've seen Lee Byung-kyu use his bench and have it work in a big way a lot this season against the Aces. Now, he went with a pinch hitter at 질롱코리아 in round 6. He went with Ha Tae-hoon, who eventually hit a go-ahead homer. We've seen it work. Now the Aces will try to cut this run off, bring the infield halfway. Swing and a miss. Good one there to the leadoff man, Saw.
Someone who hit that home run to lead off the game. People were barely in their seats before it was flying over the fence.
Didn't even have a chance to get to the keys to the game on the broadcast before that homer.
I noticed that. They popped up right after as he was rounding the bases.
And then Josh was like, all right, well, maybe we should write some new ones. I was like, well, maybe.
At least the keys, it didn't say prevent the long ball.
Yeah.
That timing was very, very funny.
Cho's at third, and Kim is at second. Huge spot in the game. The Aces looking for a shutdown frame after they scored in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Kennedy, foul back. So now he's got 2 strikes on him. Could really use a punch out.
Yeah, absolutely right. 2 things you want, right? A strikeout or a pop-up.
Kennedy's induced a lot of weak contact lately.
Yep, true.
Need a little more of it here or no contact at all.
I'll take that option.
Absolutely. ERA down to 2.81 for John, looking to keep it dipping. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Kennedy, and he gets that strikeout. So there's the no contact we wanted.
There it is.
Huge out number 2.
Certainly is. Of course, this next guy, Kwon, 2 for 2 with a walk. Single in the 1st, single in the 5th. And that could be it for John Kennedy.
Peter Moylan's motion to his bullpen. He's got somebody warmed up out there. We'll know for sure once they come out onto the field. But Moylo's going to take the ball from John Kennedy. He continues to make aggressive moves with his bullpen, and they've worked so far. Moylan knows what he's doing out there. So Kennedy's night is done after an inning and 2/3. He comes out after a big strikeout. Second and third for 질롱코리아. When we come back, we'll take a quick break here for this punt 1-2-3 pitching change on Aces TV.
Price. Ublinds Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Create the perfect look for your home with Ublinds once-a-year stocktake sale. For 2 weeks only, all Ublinds products are half price. Yes, half price. Ublinds Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
We've got another punt 1-2-3 pitching change at Melbourne Ballpark. The Aces go to the bullpen again. And Peter Moylan brings on left-hander Evan Rutsky, who is the most used pitcher on this pitching staff this season, at least out of the bullpen. Well, Rutsky, another one of these late-inning trusted relievers. He's been really good, and this is his fourth straight game as well. He's pitched 3 of the last 4. But Ed, he's been really good as well.
Let's call them the late-inning lefties. We've got a bunch of them out there that Peter Moylan can bring in. He's going to go here with Rutsky, try and get one out, really. That's his job right now, obviously. If he can continue into the 8th, that's great. But his main job right now is to get Kwon out and to end this rally. As you can see, some of the crowd enjoying the game. Early storm here, but it blew over pretty quickly. It was very windy, a little bit of rain.
That was wild. It was nuts.
It was. You get those sort of dust stormy kind of feel out here, but it didn't last too long, and we now got a really nice night. Still a bit windy, but beautiful night, and you see some more people enjoying the game here as we come to one of the more important at-bats in the game tonight.
13 games this season for Rutsky, 15 1/3 innings of work, 20 strikeouts, just 4 walks, and he has dominated left-handed hitters. So if there's a spot to use him, it's right now. Lefty's hitting just 208 against him. Righty's only hitting 226, so not much better. But Evan's been excellent this season. First pitch, breaking ball, gets away from Osborne, but he does a great job to keep it in front because that's a go-ahead run for GK if it gets behind him.
Yeah, if you want to block a ball, I guess right up the third baseline is probably the right way to block it because there's no way that runner's getting past him. Great job by Osborne.
Rutsky pitched on Friday and Sunday against Adelaide in both of the walk-off wins. He got the win in one of those games. He also threw a season-high 2 1/3 scoreless on Sunday. He was the first man out of the bullpen on Sunday. 1-0 pitch, that's down and away. And in Friday night's game, Rutsky threw a scoreless inning.
Probably won't. He won't be too careful here, I would think. If he puts Kwon on, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Base open. Another lefty on deck.
Exactly.
There's another breaking ball, and so he trusts the curveball 2-0, and he gets it over.
He does trust that curveball. We saw that over the weekend.
Rutsky, a 5-pitch pitcher. 4-seam, 2-seam fastballs. Curveball, splitter, change. 2 outs in the inning. The Aces looking to strand the go-ahead run on base. Here's Rutsky's 2-1. It misses a little bit high.
Just a tad high. I think that's the right call. 3-1. Won't want to give him anything too good here, Mike. As you said, we got the lefty on deck. and first base is open with 2 outs.
Kwan's reached in all 3 of his plate appearances. The guy on deck, Park, is 0 for 3. Here's the 3-1. That breaking ball's over. It's 3-2. A really good curveball there.
Sure was.
Well, J.D. Osborne letting the defense in front of him know 3-2, 2 outs. The runners won't be off on the pitch because first base isn't occupied, but still a big pitch either way. Rutsky readies his payoff. We'll see what he comes with. The 3-2 breaking ball ripped off his glove out to short. Glendenning barehands it, throws to first. He got him.
What a play.
A 1-6-3 put out ends the inning. Rutsky saved 1 run, maybe 2. As we take a look at this replay right here. Hot shot right back at him on a curveball. He almost caught it. Knocked it down. Glendenning barehands it. It almost hit the base, but another break that you're talking about, Ed, goes the Aces' way, and the Aces finish it off. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left in the top of the 7th. Time to stretch at Melbourne Ballpark in a tie game. We'll take a break, but first a word from some of our awesome Aces sponsors. For over 45 years, Hobson's Bay Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth with Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's West and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap into a wealth of resources and to join a winning team. New Era Technology provides specialized IT solutions for your business around internet and voice communications, managed services, as well as secure cloud hosting for data and software. Trusted by the Aces, New Era has an extensive team of engineers and sales professionals who provide hands-on collaboration that is backed by deep industry training. We are rocking out to the YMCA here at Melbourne Ballpark, one of my favorite stadium jams, Ed, and it's really, adding some even more life into this crowd.
Yeah, it is. The crowd doesn't really need that much life, I'll be honest. As you've said, we've said this is a playoff game. It's almost a play-in game, to use a contemporary phrase we see in the NBA and other leagues. Need to win this to get into the big 4-game series against Perth, which for all intents and purposes is a playoff game.
That's a great comparison to the NBA, that play-in tournament that they do now. Well, an exciting end to the 7th inning. Evan Rutsky came on to get the final out on a 3-2 pitch. He threw a curveball that Kwang Min sent up the middle. Rutsky knocked it down, almost caught it. The ball trickled out to short, where Glendenning picked it up barehanded, through to first, and they just got him at the bag.
Amazing play, certainly was. New pitcher on the mound as well for 질롱코리아.
Whitefield tries a bunt on the first pitch of the bottom of the 7th. Whitefield, Khalil, and Burke against the new pitcher for 질롱코리아 on another punt 1-2-3 pitching change. Well, the new man on the mound, it's Oh Se-hun. So O is on to pitch, a 2.08 ERA this season. First batter he faces is a 2-time Helms Award winner, Aaron Whitefield. 0-1, make it 0-2 after that foul ball.
Seeing some of those scenes coming out of the 7th inning stretch. A lot of fans from Geelong here, which is great. Great to sort of see that rivalry. I know the club is Korean-based. They play out of Geelong, but they have a fair few fans here, which is great to see here at Melbourne Ballpark.
Left-hander on the mound. A righty-heavy Aces lineup will like to see that. 0-2 to Whitefield. He just got a piece to stay alive. Well, the 질롱코리아 starter, So Jun-won, went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. He scattered 8 hits, struck out 6, and didn't walk a batter. So pretty good line there.
Yeah, I was impressed with him, actually.
Impressive to work around the 8 hits.
Yeah, no kidding.
Including 3 extra base hits. 0-2, Whitefield takes in. First run of the game for the Aces came in the bottom of the 2nd. Jared Dale led off the inning with a homer to left to extend his hitting streak to 7 games, which ties a season high for an Aces player. The Aces got one back in the bottom of the 6th to tie it. Darryl George scored from second on a fielder's choice play. On a play you really have to see to understand. It was wild, but that's baseball for you.
Certainly is. You look at the Aces dugout there.
A lot of things have gone the Aces' way tonight, and you need that to happen late in the season. Get the breaks at the right time. Yep. Who knows what can happen? Whitefield working a really solid AB here. He has the count at 2-2.
I did jokingly say to Graham Lloyd, couldn't we have started this sort of positive rally a couple of weeks earlier? He laughed and said, yeah, you're right.
Would have taken away a lot of stress, a lot of drama, a lot of intensity. Whitefield fouls another one off.
Good at-bat from Whitefield. You're just staying alive.
You know, it's turned into a really nice night at the ballpark after that near tornado we went through in the second inning.
It was.
They're about to sound the storm alarms.
It was a little strange. I was sitting down there behind home plate, and you could just see trash and things just blowing across the field, dust. But you're right, it's beautiful now.
2-2, misses inside 3-2. Well, this would be a huge leadoff base runner, especially to get Whitefield aboard with his base stealing ability.
This reminds me of Glendenning's at-bat. I think it was on Sunday where he was in the same situation, fouled 4 or 5 off, ended up earning a walk.
Payoff pitch coming from, here it is. Whitefield chops another one foul. Well, just the way this AB is going and the way this game is trended, and just the way that the season's going for the Aces late with the good vibes and the intensity, something makes me think he's finding his way on base here.
It does have that feel, I must admit.
Oh, that left center gap's looking big out there. You know
huge,
what I mean?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's a massive gap.
They're shading Whitey to right center. See if he takes advantage. Here's another 3-2. A check swing. Ooh, hot shot into the Aces dugout. Look out.
Been a few of them this year.
Yeah.
There've been 3 or 4 when I've been here.
Yeah, I remember the season opener. Moilo in his normal spot in front of the dugout, close to the on-deck circle. There was one that came by him, and then after that he went and grabbed a first baseman's mitt and went back over the railing. You know, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah. They're having a laugh about that right now.
See what Whitefield does here. Another pitch coming his way. Here's the 3-2 again. Popped up. Right side of the diamond. Foul ground. Is it going to stay in play? It does. The catcher, Cho, makes the grab. Well, I was wrong.
After all
thought
that,
he was getting on.
Whitefield would be so frustrated after that great at-bat. You go out with a pop-up to the catcher.
Well, he really made work.
Certainly did.
So now the 9-hole hitter, George Khalil, due up. He made throw 11 pitches right there. Yeah, that's more in one at-bat than Kennedy threw in the entire 6th inning.
That's a really good point.
Here's George Khalil looking to start things up at the bottom of the order. It's inside.
Good eye.
Would you expect anything less? Tie game, bottom 7 in a must-win game.
Here we go again.
The series against Adelaide featured 3 one-run wins for the Aces. 2 in walk-off fashion. And grounded to third. That's foul. After a 7-0 loss in the Thursday series opener against Adelaide, the Aces won 7-6 in 10, won 5-4, and then won 4-3.
And here we are, 2-2.
2 come-from-behind wins, 2 walk-off wins. Well, if the Aces win this one, it'll be another come-from-behind win, which has been a theme all year.
Yeah, after walking away from that Thursday night game, you're like, here we go. This is going to be a terrible end of the season. And then suddenly, bang, turned it around.
Well, the Aces in Geelong, Korea have played some tight games all year.
Yes.
Now, each of the first 3 games of the season were decided by exactly 3 runs. The Aces lost the series opener 3-0, won 8-5 in 13 innings in the next one, then won 6-3, and then the rain out. And then in Geelong in round 6, a 7-5 series opening win, and then they lost 3 games by a total of 4 runs, 3-2, 4-3, and 5-3.
Yep.
A lot of low-scoring games and a lot of really good close games. 3-1. It got Khalil in the head.
Yeah, I think that Stewie Howe is pointed to the head, and I think says he has to.
Wow.
He
said he's all right.
Like that, I thought it hit him in the
Oh,
shoulder.
you know what? It got him in the shoulder, and
that's what I thought.
The helmet flew off.
Yeah, okay. I did think it did hit him in the shoulder. Yeah, helmet flew off. Okay, great.
Deceiving there.
That's good on a number of levels.
I thought it got him in the dome. But yes, definitely better than taking one in the head.
Yeah.
Helmet just flew off. So there's the go-ahead run at first with one out. Khalil runs well. Here's Burke, the leadoff man. 1 for 3, but a quiet night. Led off the first inning with a single. That one almost scoots away from Cho. Burke came into the ballgame with his average at 246, OPS approaching 800 at 776. Reaching base at a 333 clip. You'll take 1 out of 3 any day getting on base.
Absolutely.
Now a meeting on the mound as Cho and O will discuss things.
What a pretty long conversation out there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I thought Stuart Howe would have headed.
I think he was distracted by something in the Aces dugout over there.
Thought he would have gone out to break that one up.
Yeah, absolutely. I was waiting for that.
Well, Chris Burke has 7 extra base hits and 8 RBIs on the season. It would be a great time to add to both of those totals.
Big at-bat here. Glendening, of course, on deck.
Burke extended his hitting streak to 6 games his first time up. Love seeing streaks like that late in the season. Guys getting going, producing.
It is a game of streaks, isn't it, this game of baseball?
Well, like you said earlier, and you were joking with Graham, Aces definitely made things difficult on themselves late in the season, needing to win their final 8 to get in. They're almost halfway home, 3 in a row, looking to make it 4, looking for that Perth series.
Well, that's a good point. If you win this, you've won 4 in a row. You know you can do it.
Yeah, looking for that Perth series to mean everything. The Aces will fly to Perth later this week and play Friday night, doubleheader Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon for the regular season series finale. Wouldn't it be something to go down to Sunday?
Oh.
Winner take all for a playoff spot?
Can you imagine?
2-0, Burke takes high. Good AB here.
Yeah, really good.
I mean, that's as intense as it gets.
That would be something else.
Well, I was talking about it with Josh in the early frames of this one tonight. The Heat are in a weird spot where they could still win the division, or they could, if they lose all 4 to the Aces and the Aces win tonight, then they're out of the playoffs completely. 4-pitch walk to Chris Burke, and that pushes the go-ahead run to scoring position.
How about that? Good at-bat from Burke.
Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Ed, to think back to your time with the Aces. I mean, have you ever been a part of a regular season game this late in the year that meant so much for a playoff spot?
That is a very, very good question. I'll probably say no and then go home and go, oh, there was that one.
Yeah.
I do think there was one similar, but not around this because it was a rain out and it's a different game. It wasn't part of a series.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of a standalone situation. So it makes it a little more intense.
Khalil at second, Burke at first for Robbie Glendening. 1 for 3 with a single in the first. Biggest spot of the game to this point. Something we'll probably say again at some point. Tied at 2. Glendening takes low. It's 1-0.
Oh, having a few problems here. Little control issue. 4-pitch walk, as you mentioned, to Burke. Hit Khalil.
Yeah.
Now that first pitch, Glendening is low.
Yeah, he's missed with 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Double play depth in the infield for GK. 1-0. Glendening takes a strike, so he finally gets one over. He's throwing a lot of pitches, too. Remember, 11 pitches to Aaron Whitefield open the inning.
To start it. Yeah, you're right. There is some action in the GK bullpen as we speak.
No action for the Aces. It looks like Evan Rutsky will get the 8th. 1-1. Robbie takes down again.
That's low.
Good ABs. I mean, this has similar vibes to that 9th inning on Sunday where Todd Van Steetzl just didn't have it. And the Aces...
That's an understatement.
The Aces just didn't, they didn't give him any strikes, They made him continue to come to the plate, and 4 walks to win it in the bottom of the 9th in walk-off fashion. 2-1, swinging I think a foul tip into the glove, and it was.
He chased a high one there too, Mike. That was a ball.
Well, it's raining right now, and I didn't realize it was until I saw the monitor. You know, it's tough to tell with this window
I'm
closed
just looking
in
at
front
the
of me.
lights. Yeah, you're right.
That probably feels good out there, though. That's just a little sprinkle.
Yeah,
It's as hot as it's been
fans
today.
aren't really going anywhere. A few umbrellas I see.
2-2, almost clipped him. Well, this is a great crowd for a Tuesday night game on short notice.
Correct.
You know, it's one that you can't plan all season for it to be here tonight. You know, this was one where it was only decided a couple weeks ago that this game was going to be played. Really?
3-2 pitch here, big pitch.
First and second for the Aces. 3-2 to Robbie. Chops one foul. Ooh, hot shot. Look out.
About 3 질롱코리아 players hit the dirt in the dugout. Jeez, that was scary.
Well, this gets really interesting if Glendinning finds a way on and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Skull.
We saw some of the rain there against the big lights, big new lights here at the ballpark, by the way. If you haven't been out here, get here next year because it's done an unbelievable job with this place.
Laboring through the 7th. Glendinning's ready. Here's the 3-2, another chopper foul. Well, you talked about getting here next year, Ed. I mean, it's a great time to jump in on the early bird pricing for 2023-2024 Aces season ticket membership. Save an average of $65 per membership when you sign up with the early bird pricing. So now's the time to lock it in. You know, if you're a member already and you want to renew, or if you're not a member and you want to become a member, you know, now's the time to do it. Get it early, you know, get it over with, and we'll see you next year. Another payoff to Glendinning.
Wow.
And another one.
It's the 3rd straight one that's gone into the 질롱코리아 dugout.
Wow.
They're going to think he's got a vendetta against him.
Well, between Whitefield seeing 11 pitches, Khalil getting hit deep in the count, Burke walking on 4, and now Glendinning's deep in this at-bat. I mean, has thrown a ton of pitches, and he still only has 1 out.
The dugout now, there's hardly anyone in it.
They're putting the shift on. You got to shift.
The dugout shift.
Left on right for Robbie, the 3-2 again. That's down, ball 4. Wow, that is a great eye from Glendinning.
That's an incredible eye.
And the last 3 batters have reached on free passes, hit by pitch, walk, walk.
And that's an amazing at-bat, just like that one I mentioned, referenced, I think it was Sunday. He's done it again. Now we got the bases loaded. And Skull really is due, Mike. 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts.
100%, absolutely due. Left on left, not an ideal matchup. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. It is his birthday, though, so this would be the big time to come up big. A hit here, and he's getting an extra slice of birthday cake later tonight, I'll tell you that. Maybe a little ice cream on top, too.
I was going to say, maybe the present is a walk.
See what he can do. He was the man at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and he forced in the winning run with the walk-off walk. Well, there's ball 1. I mean, this is eerily similar to the 9th inning on Sunday. Instead of walk, 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 it's hit by pitch, walk, walk.
And the only difference is O's not wearing that later Hosen look that Van Steensel was wearing.
He had short shorts on, essentially.
Like a softball player.
O's slowed down his pace. 1-0. Skull flicks it out of play, foul. Well, O really hasn't gotten in a rhythm. You know, he hasn't. I can't remember if he's thrown multiple strikes in a row in this inning.
Yeah, it's a great point. Rhythm has not been the word to use. He's really battled.
Well, other than the foul balls, but multiple, called strikes,
Yeah.
taken strikes, swings and misses. Game tied at 2. 3 on for the Aces, though. 1-1. That's outside.
Another good eye there from Skull. And we mentioned this, too, the Aces being very patient. Something was lacking early in the season, if you will. Certainly been patient in this past series and tonight.
Corners pinched in for 질롱코리아. Double play depth up the middle. 1 out. Here's the 2-1 to Skull. Another foul ball. It's 2-2.
Fouled off in that exact same area. Hey, it bounced back, and a fan made a grab and flicks it to a kid.
Love that.
Way to go. Really nice stuff.
Well, you just feel the intensity in the ballpark. I mean, there's drama here. Late inning, tied at 2, bottom 7, 1 out.
Bases loaded.
32 pitches in the inning for Rowe. He still has just 1 out. Here's the 2-2 to Skoll. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Here comes Khalil. Here comes Burke. 2-run single for Jake Skoll, and the Aces double the lead. It's 4-2. A 2-run single for the birthday boy, Jake Skoll. All of a sudden, the Aces are on top, and this thing changed in a hurry.
We said he was due, and he delivered. And that's what a professional baseball player does, Mike. 0 for 3, has not looked comfortable at the plate, steps up, drills that, brings in 2 runs. Aces have a 2-run lead in the bottom of 7, and still only 1 out.
Khalil scores, Burke scores, Glendinning to third, and Skoll picked up second on the throw. Well, that's it for O, who just did not have it tonight. Take a quick break here on this punt 1-2-3 pitching change. When we come back, we'll recap what just happened. Don't go anywhere. Big spot in the game for the Aces. They look to extend the lead that they just grabbed. Keep it locked on Aces TV.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stocktake sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blinds Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
We've got another punt 1-2-3 pitching change here at Melbourne Ballpark. I'll tell you a little bit about the new pitcher in a minute, but first let's recap what just happened. Jake Skoll, a go-ahead 2-run single up the middle. He got to second on the throw. Glendinning got to third. Khalil and Burke scored on the play. Still just 1 out. The Aces looking to extend this lead in a must-win game.
Yeah, it'd be nice to pile on a couple more right here, Mike. Let's not leave it at 4-2. Let's get a couple more across. You look at Daryl George from the 질롱코리아 dugout angle. Great camera shot there from our crew.
The Aces, 질롱코리아 makes the decision to intentionally walk Daryl to load the bases and set up the force anywhere. And that brings up J.D. Osborne, who pinch ran for Ryan Lavarnway in the 6th.
And he's coming off a big day. Big weekend. Probably makes sense if you're 질롱코리아 to put Daryl on, get that force set up. And he's also a very dangerous clutch hitter, Daryl George.
New pitcher for 질롱코리아 is Oh-Yoon Sung, right-hander with a 4.29 ERA. Aces could break this thing open with one swing. The first pitch to Osborne, that's down. Well, Osborne walked to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning on Sunday, and that set up the walk-off win for the Aces. Jacob Robson pinch ran for JD and scored the winning run. JD doubled, singled twice, and walked in 4 plate appearances on Sunday. So he's hot with the bat. 1-0, there's a strike.
Just caught the outside corner there. Strike zone's been a little tight tonight. Stuart Howe behind home plate. No complaints, just been a pretty tight strike zone, but that one hit the outside corner.
So Oh Se-hun goes just a third of an inning. Here's Oh-Yoon Sung, the new man on the mound. 1-1, JD swings over it.
Fooled him on that one.
So a 2-run single for Jake Skoll, the difference right now. The Aces trailed 2-0 after the top of the first. They got one back in the bottom of the second. Jared Dale, a solo homer. Darryl George, an aggressive base running play to score on a fielder's choice in the 6th to tie it. And now in the bottom of the 7th, Skoll with a 2-run bingo up the middle. Make it 2-2. Good take from Osborne there.
And of course, with only one out, Jared Dale, dangerous hitter on deck for the Aces.
Glendinning at third, Skoll at second, George at first. 9 hits in the game for the Aces. 2-strike pitch sent in the air, deep center field. This should get an insurance run in. Lee gets behind it, makes the grab. Glendinning tags. The throw is cut off. Glendinning scores an insurance run, and the Aces lead it 5-2 here in the 7th.
Not sure if they wanted to cut that off. I don't think the throw would have resulted in an out, but...
Well, they tried to nab the runner at second. That's Skoll. They tried to get him and tag him before the run scored, but Skoll got back. I mean, medium depth out there in center, and I said off the bat, it should be deep enough because Glendinning runs well.
Yep.
It would have taken a perfect throw. So 2 gone, runners at first and second. A productive plate appearance for Osborne, who gets a run home. Here's Jared Dale. Evan Rutsky, the pitcher of record right now. He got the final out of the 7th after John Kennedy got 5 outs over the 6th and 7th combined. Pitch to Dale, fastball over. It's 1-1. For Osborne, it's his 14th RBI of the season. And the 2 that Skoll drove in, RBIs number 5 and 6 for him. Still traffic on the bases, 2 on with 2 down. 5-2 Aces lead as Dale scorches one down the left field line, but that hook's foul.
Heads into the bullpen. Yeah, you look at this inning, the guys that delivered, a guy who was 0 for 3 and had struck out 3 times, and a pinch hitter. Just the kind of stuff you need, right? You get the guys stepping up, the important, not necessarily the heavy hitters, the guys that kind of make it happen when their time comes, and that's what they did tonight, Osborne and Skoll.
Ball and 2 strikes. Dale chases, but the ball gets away from the catcher, Cho. Here's the throw down to first. It's in time to get him. So the inning ends on a strikeout and a 2-3 putout. But an extremely productive inning for the Aces. They send 8 to the plate. They score twice. They do it on just 1 hit, but take advantage of 2 walks and a hit by pitch. 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Jake Skoll, a 2-run single up the middle. That's the difference right now. J.D. Osborne adds a sac fly. 5-2 Aces after 7 full. Well, Ed, we appreciate you taking some time again here in the booth, and you picked some exciting innings to come on.
I got very lucky, didn't I? Thanks for having me, Mike. Josh in right after this.
Absolutely. We'll take a break here on Aces TV. Keep it locked right here.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
A massive inning for the Aces. 3 runs come across, thanks in part to Jake Skoll and J.D. Osborne, the 2 men to drive in the necessary 3 runs for the Aces. And now Evan Rutsky's back out in the 8th with a nice cushion. 5-2 the lead for Melbourne. And man, has it been a roller coaster of emotions. 2 runs in the first for Geelong, and the Aces have now scored 5 unanswered, 4 of which have come in the last 2 innings. I mean, this is playoff baseball, Mike.
It really is. I mean, we've talked about it all season, the resilience of this team. It's pretty fun to watch right now. And not only the team resilience, but individually. You look at Jake Skoll, 3 strikeouts in his first 3 plate appearances of the night. Just didn't look that comfortable at the plate. Comes back, unties the game with a 2-run single in the late innings. That's huge.
Now Park Joo-hong leading off the 8th. 0-1 count to him. A lefty-on-lefty matchup for Rutsky, who gets a called strike 2 with a fastball on the outside corner. Rutsky is in line for the victory now. And Park Joo-hong 0 for 3 on the day. Rutsky from the center of the rubber, kicks and deals. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. 3 runs in the 7th, 3 strikes to start off the 8th inning, and Park Joo-hong is down swinging for the 3rd time today.
That's huge to come out of the inning in which the Aces score 3, and Rutsky comes back and gets the leadoff man. You need a shutdown frame here, and this is the guy on the mound that you want out.
I imagine he will not come out for the 9th. My guess would be another lefty in Dan McGraw, but you got to get through this 8th first. Song Chan-oi, Oh Jung-han, the next 2 up for Geelong, and both of them have hurt the Aces this season. Swing and a miss. Rutsky is on the money. 4 strikes on 4 pitches. Song Chan-oi hit 3 home runs in the 3 games at the start of this round 1. He's 1 for 3 today with an RBI, but down 0-2 here. Rutsky looking for another 3-pitch K, and Song Chan-oi slowly gets himself set in the batting box. The 0-2 coming from Rutsky, kicking the pitch. First ball of the inning as the breaking ball gets in to make it 1-2.
I think the coolest thing about this run the Aces are on right now is that we're legitimately talking about playoff baseball for a team that really had to grind its way through the first few rounds of this season. Things were not going their way, and they have really flipped the script on their season.
A 1-2 count now. Rutsky looking to continue the change for the Aces as it's 2-2 now. And I mean, it's just not something that we would have expected from this team at the beginning of the season after 2 really solid opening rounds here at Melbourne Ballpark. But the winds can change quickly in baseball, and the Aces looking to keep it in their favor here at this late stage of the season. 2-2. Song checks his swing. An appeal to first base. He didn't go.
I thought that pitch was there, but we'll take a look at the replay here. I mean, this is another really good pitch by Rutsky to make it close. And, I mean, yeah, that's close, but probably off the plate inside.
It's at the knees, but it's not over the plate.
I mean, that's a knee buckler, just no swing and just a little off.
Payoff pitch. Weakly hit over to first base. George fields it, tags the bag for out number 2. Song Chan-oi might need a different bat if he comes to the plate again, as it certainly sounds like that one got broken. But either way, 2 outs for Oh Jung-han.
Yeah, I think that bat's toast. But Rutsky going up and in with the fastball jammed him. I mean, that's a great pitch there. After a knee buckling breaking ball, you get him behind on the fastball on the next pitch. I mean, this is the spot you want a veteran like Rutsky in, and he's doing his job.
He's been the shutdown late inning guy for the Aces all year long. And he's got another lefty to work with. Oh Jong-han, who's 0 for 3. A strikeout and a double play grounded into. First pitch to him, misses for a called ball 1. Oh Jong-han was especially lethal when the Aces came to visit Geelong back in round 6. In that comeback walk-off victory that they had, Oh Jong-han tied up the game with a pinch hit single in the 9th inning. 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner. His fastball's right in the same part of the zone there.
He's painting right there. I mean, that's an unhittable pitch. It's a strike, but it's an unhittable pitch on that outside.
Went Rolling Stones and painted it black. 1-1 count to the lefty O. Rutsky deals. Breaking ball, another pitch, painting the outside corner. And Oh Jong-han down to his final strike.
Well, I'm hoping he can paint it red. You know, I marked my strikeouts in red pen, so I'm looking to put another K down.
Hey, if I can make a song reference, I'm going to do it. A 1-2 count. Fans clapping to egg Rutsky on. Called strike 3. 2 Ks in the 8th for Evan Rutsky. And he sends Geelong down in order to help preserve a 3-run 7th. 2 strikeouts for Rutsky. Aces heading into what they hope is their last at-bats of the regular season at home. 5-2 Melbourne heading to the bottom of the 8th.
Save that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kick the sky. When Dan Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be right without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi! One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Dan McGraw getting loose for the Aces. 5 straight games when he's come in, they have earned a win. He has 3 saves and 2 victories in that time. And we may see him once again in the top of the 9th inning. We will see a new pitcher and clearer skies as we had a punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen for Geelong. Lee Jun-hyuk will face off against 8-9-1. Jacob Robson, only ace who didn't bat in the 7th. He takes a called strike. Whitefield and Khalil will follow him up. Robson on the day, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 2 ground outs right back to the pitcher. The 0-1. Robson holds up his swing, smartly so. It's now 1-1. (5-2) the score, 9 hits apiece. And the pitch, called a strike on the outside corner. And the count's now 1-2. Robson has been moved all around the outfield and all up and down the Aces lineup, batting in the 7 spot tonight. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. One gone here in the 8th. Lee Jun-hyuk strikes out the first batter he sees, and now it's the 7th inning due up of Aaron Whitefield and George Khalil. Whitefield, 2 for 3, a single and a double. He was thrown out trying to turn that second inning single into a double. And he comes up in a big spot. Melbourne looking for some more insurance. It'll be interesting to see, because it seems like McGraw is set to come in for the 9th. Do you think they keep him on there if it's not a save situation?
You know, I think just because it's a must-win game, I think he's going out there regardless, especially if he's getting loose right now. You don't want to have him get hot and then not use him.
As the 1-0 bounces in front of the plate, 2-0.
Now, with the next few days off, they could just go to anybody they want in this situation, but I think McGraw's getting hot. Even if it's a 4-run lead or more, he's coming in because he warmed up and knowing that there's a few days off. I mean, he's your most trusted guy to close out games right now. The save situation or not, you got to get the dub. I think they go to him.
2-0 to Whitefield. Lee, the pitch. Whitefield holds up his swing, 3-0. And he is not a man you want on base if you were Geelong. 5-2 the lead. McGraw continues to get loose in the Aces pen. And he's pitched, consecutive days, short rest. Any way you slice it, McGraw just continues to get on the mound, and partly because he's earned that right.
Absolutely. He's been so good since he came off the injured list. And to go from a starting role to back end of the bullpen, closing out games, seamless transition.
The 3-1 now to Whitefield. He lets it go. It bounces on home plate. An appeal to first, and they say he went around. So once again, a full count to Aaron Whitefield as we take another look at the check swing here. Close call, but it seems like the right one. Ian Gavin making the final decision over on first base. The payoff pitch. Whitefield will head to first base. A really close pitch on the outside corner for Lee Jun-hyuk, and a 1-out walk to the dangerous Aaron Whitefield.
Well, Whitefield's been on base 3 times tonight, single, double, and now a walk. And, the time he didn't reach base, he worked an 11-pitch at-bat. He's been a really nice addition to the bottom of the order, a guy who spent most of the season leading off, and now he's batting either the 7 or 8 hole. It just lengthens the lineup, and in terms of trying to grab an insurance run, see if he tries to swipe second, maybe even third.
In lower leverage, I'd imagine he tries to steal at least once. 11 for 11 on this season. That leads the team. And George Khalil up at the plate, as this one is hit out in the air to left. Oh Jung Han, easy play, easy catch for the second out of the inning.
See, now with 2 outs, I'm interested to see if he'll go, because if he gets thrown out, it's not a huge deal with a 3-run lead. But if he makes it, he's in scoring position with 2 outs instead of on first with 2 outs. Now, on the other hand, he could probably score on anything down the line or in the gap with 2 outs because he'll be running on contact with 2 down.
And Chris Burke, certainly a guy capable of doing that. Infield shifted towards the middle for him. In double play depth, essentially, even though there are 2 outs. Whitefield's inching towards second, but Burke takes a first pitch fastball in there for a called strike. Burke 1 for 3 today, but he's reached base twice, including scoring on that Jake Skoll single back in the 7th after he walked. Throw over to first, almost out of the glove of Song Chan Oi. Really nice to keep that in his mitt. And Whitefield slides in ahead of a potential tag anyway. Burke, a 7-game on-base streak. Off goes Whitefield. Burke hammers this high out into right field. On the track is Park Ju-hong, and about 2 steps in front of the warning track, he makes the catch to end the inning. So the Aces threaten stranding a runner. No hits yet. And it is a save situation. Dan McGraw will come out of the Aces bullpen. to try and close it out and set up a winner-take-all series with Perth. Bottom of the ninth coming up. 5-2 Aces lead.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
It all comes down to this for the Aces. A 3-run lead and the most reliable arm on the mound to do it. Dan McGraw is back for the Aces. The last 5 games he has pitched in, the Aces have won. 2 wins and 3 saves and 1 unearned run allowed. That only run came in the top of the 10th inning against Adelaide. An inherited runner scored on a ground rule double from Quincy Lattimore. That is it. And the Aces starting the 9th with a blank slate for Geelong, who look like they have a pinch hitter coming up. And they do. So a lefty against the lefty McGraw. First pitch of the 9th. Misses. And Kim Kyu-sung is the pinch hitter. Next pitch in there for a called strike to Kim. Jin Young's night is done. He was 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. Interesting move to go with a lefty against the lefty McGraw. Breaking ball, that's a curve in there for a called strike 2. 22nd game of the season for Kim, 3 homers, 13 RBIs, and now the 1-2. Hit in the air out to right. Khalil under it, 1 out. A little pop-up, an easy play for Khalil, and that's what the Aces need. 2 outs away. The Aces cannot lose a game for the rest of the season if they want to make the playoffs. They need this win today, and they need 4 straight in Perth. And they are 2 outs away from setting that up. Kim Ju-sung hits this one out to left field. Going back is Burke. On the track, he leaps, and it's off the wall. Kim will stand up at second base with a double. Whitefield challenges him with the throw. And McGraw allows just his second base hit since becoming the Aces closer. And that's just a well-hit ball. Burke was tracking really well, and a really good angle to see how close this was. Just over his glove, a little bit under Ram. But it's just a double as we have a pinch runner on second base now. Or no, we don't. That's just the man taking off the guards. My apologies. So it's still Kim Ju-sung on second. Osborne relaying the signs, and a pinch hitter coming up for Geelong. It is Kim Tae-hyun, who is listed as a pitcher. This is someone else entirely. Yeah, Kim Tae-hyun, who's listed as a pitcher on the roster, is coming in as a pinch hitter. One-0. That is hit high in the air, foul down the left field line. That looks like Kim Ki-yoon, their catcher, wearing a different jersey. It's a 1-1 count, runner on second base. One out. And McGraw will look at second base. He deals. Slice to first. Fielded in fair territory. George flips back to first for the out. McGraw covering. And Kim Ju-sung moves into third base. The Aces, one out away. And now Kim Tae-hyun. Kim Tae-hyun represents the potential final out. A runner on third. 2 outs. The Aces with a 5-2 lead. 19 total hits in this game, 10 of them coming from Geelong. McGraw trying to keep it that way. 3-run lead for Melbourne. McGraw deals. Fastball up and in, 1-0. McGraw, former Red Sox farmhand, has been a mainstay for this Aces team. Part of those 2 championship teams as the breaking ball misses away, 2-0. Been a starter and a reliever. As we take a look at some chin music here. Rushing Kim Tae-hyun at the plate. High pop up to right. Robson giving chase in foul territory, and that will do it. Jacob Robson seals the victory for the Aces, and Melbourne stays alive this season. 4 straight wins for the Aces, and a winner-take-all series in Perth is coming up. Melbourne needs all 4 wins to get into the playoff, but it is still a possibility. 5-2 the win for Melbourne, and their season-best win streak continues to grow. McGraw gets his 4th save of the season, and all of them have come within the last 2 weeks. He had 2 in Sydney, he had 2 wins and a save in Adelaide, and now he gets the save to secure the round 1 victory in Melbourne. Yeah, you heard that right. This was a makeup game for round 1 that was washed out due to rain. That is now a victory for the Aces. 5-2 the score. Jake Skoll delivering on his birthday, becoming the hero at the plate for the Aces. He had a 2 RBI single in the 7th inning to secure the victory for Melbourne. That made it 4-2. Another run added in that 7th by J.D. Osborne. And that was all the Aces needed. They shut down Geelong, allowing just 1 hit in the final 2 frames. That double in the 9th inning by Kim Ju-sung. And we're going to go down now to Mike Marcantonini, who is going to talk to Ryan Lavarnway.
What's up, Aces fans? Michael Marcantonini down here on the field with Aces catcher Ryan Lavarnway. Well, Ryan, big win for the club. Needed a win tonight to keep the season alive. How's it feel to get that win tonight?
The boys have been playing good baseball. That was a good team. That was the first time that I had the chance to see them, so it was a good game, and I'm glad the boys could pull it out.
Down 2-0 after the top of the first. This team continues to fight its way back. Jared Dale, a big home run in the second. Darryl George, an aggressive base running play to tie the game in the 6th, and then Jake Skoll puts you guys ahead in the bottom of the 7th. What can you say about what your teammates did to claw their way back tonight?
Yeah, the way the wind was blowing, we had no panic. That home run early on the top of the first, was a cheapy one. We knew we were going to be able to score runs tonight, and I think we're confident in our abilities, and hopefully we can take that all the way to Perth.
You came out of the game in the later innings, but you were back there behind the plate for most of the game. What did you see from the guys that you caught today, especially Scott Harkin, giving you guys 5 strong innings?